I'm serious. Like, he would look good with makeup and a dress. Not kidding. Maybe you should try it.
Yo, he's little broing him. He's little broing this guy. Oh my goodness. This guy's on one. He's unstoppable. This is violent. You insulted him first and he roasted you back twice as hard and you don't like it. I mean, yeah, welcome to the internet. That's the way it goes, bro. Here's the start of it. Bo Blacks. Bo Blacks tweeted this out yesterday. So let's start off here and I'll play this, okay? So I'm just going to play it and see what we think, okay?
How old is this guy? He looks underage. He looks like he's like 14, okay? You take it up the ass like when nobody's looking and you deny it at every point when nobody even brought it up. You're like, what do you mean in the ass? And they're like, I asked you what you wanted for dinner. Okay, well, just so it's clear, I did not get in the ass. Like that's the look that you're giving off.
How's Mrs. Tip think about that one?
What? Dog, where's your husband? Dog, you're 14. Shut up. Go back to school. Like, he looks like he's 14. Some 16-year-olds look like adults. The problem with pedophilia...
Okay, let's just pause. Let's pause there, okay? Pause, all right? This guy's called Alec Gunter, okay? I don't think I've ever spoken to him, but I'm aware of him. And he's like a bread tube kind of style guy, right? He's kind of like a bit like a Voshite type character, I believe, right? Okay. And my understanding of where this came from is I think that Alec Gunter has been defending Tipster. And obviously Lerix made a video about Tipster. So I think what's happening here is Alec is watching Lerix's video about Tipster and is kind of going at him over it, right? Yeah, exactly. You may recognize him because he was on an episode of Jubilee that Destiny was on about black stuff or something. Okay? And I've not watched it myself, but I'm told he was, and I quote, insufferable on there. But don't take that from me. I've not watched it, but that's what someone told me. Okay? Now, this comes across to me as Tipster is upset with expressing his concerns to Alec, and then Alec is kind of going on the attack against Lerix because Lerix has made a video shitting on Tipster, right? That's what it comes across like, and this is why he's making these kind of... Now, one thing I will say, credit to Alec Gunter here, is that this does seem very tightly edited, okay? Now, it's not impossible that there could be context here that might add additional stuff to this. And I don't really have a problem with making kind of sexualized jokes necessarily. But the thing that I listened to and I thought with this is like just the weird targeted sexual jokes are kind of odd to me. I find it very... How did I frame it? I said like, you know, leftoids projecting their sexual ideas onto people, you know? Do you see what I mean? And then there's this weird dynamic as well where it's like you look 14 and then you talk about how they take it in the ass. Very fucking weird behavior, okay? Anyway, so Alec is going at Lerix, which I don't really care about. If you want to have a pop at Lerix, whatever, go fill your boots. There's just a very weird tone to the way that he's kind of talking about it and doing it, you know? Like, it's one thing to say, suck my dick. You know, when you say suck my dick, you're saying it's an insult. And, you know, there's a clear intent there that we all understand collectively. But when the joke is, yeah, you look like you get fucked in the ass. There's something weird about that. It's like the difference between the way that Tommy was and the way that Mama Max responded to him, you know? So yeah, that's the kind of way that I look at this. Anyway, pause there. Let's continue on, all right?
Look like adults. The problem with pedophilia is not finding somebody who is underage attractive, okay? If you find somebody who happens to be underage, who's like 16 or 17, attractive...
God, dude. See, the funny thing is people have a go at me because I don't pipe out hot takes about stuff like this, and I try and be quite cautious in how I talk about it as best as possible, right? And this is why, because if you start pumping out hot takes, you sound terrible. You know? I just think you need to be very cautious about how you have these kind of fucking conversations. And this guy clearly is not really on that train, I guess you could say.
That's not a big deal. It is not a fucking big deal if I go up to somebody, some chick that I think is attractive, okay? And say, hey, you know, you look great. Why don't I take you to dinner sometime, okay? And then she turns around and says, hey, I'm 17. I'm here with my mom or whatever, and she's in the other store. You know, if this guy who already looks like he would fit makeup very well, makeup and a dress, I'm serious, like fit makeup very well, whatever, and she's in the other store. You know, if this guy who already looks like he would fit makeup very well, makeup and a dress,
There's a certain je ne sais quoi to wearing a trans positive kind of t-shirt and making comments like that about someone, you know? Oh, that is certainly an interesting choice.
I'm serious. Like he would look good with makeup and a dress. Not kidding. Maybe you should try it. You know? Now I know that you are a virgin. I get that. But now that you know that, maybe next time you can avoid making this dumbass comment that only a 14-year-old would make. All right? Not only do you look like one, you also think like one.
What? But I wanted to end off this.
See, this is why it's great to just be able to call someone a retard, because you don't have to get into all this weird rigmarole where you're trying to come up with all these banging roasts and then coming up with all these weird incoherent comments on the one hand saying they look 14 and then talking about how they like it in the ass and then talking about how they look good in a dress. You can just call someone a retard and be done with it, you know? Look at what they need to mimic a fraction of our power.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
$5 from I Miss My Dad. I don't get
Thank you for the
why
$5.
stoners engage with this topic. They don't have the knowledge to discuss it with experts, and layman doesn't care. Why bother?
But yeah, I mean, there is a certain kind of style. There's another guy that I saw one time, and it was like, God, this guy is literally like all of everything he's taken from Bosch. You know, everything has been adopted from Bosch. He's got it feels like there's no self-personality coming through as such. It's all just trying to imitate Bosch. And it's like, just be yourself. You know, be yourself. You don't need to imitate Bosch. Just do your own thing and have your own voice. And it kind of, I get a similar feeling here, you know?
This video on one good note with one final statement
Obvious
from Tipster
joke.
himself. When you got a coom, you got a coom.
I coom. What, this guy doesn't coom? Is that your problem? You got big ass blue balls, man? Go whack one off. I promise you'll feel better. Maybe do it to somebody fucking your ass! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure.
The way I put it is like, could you imagine a situation of like someone bringing up a young woman and making those same comments from the progressive side? Well, how would progressives feel about that? Like, it feels so odd that you can make all these like heavily targeted sexualized comments about a young man and progressives seem to think it's okay. But like, if you did it to a woman, I'm pretty sure they'd have a massive problem with it, you know? You know, because the thing is as well, is like, Lerix doesn't even present or show any sort of that stuff. You know, he's very down the line with it in terms of like the way he talks about stuff. He's quite a kind of generally private person. Well, I mean, obviously, you know, except for the except for some of the Twitter likes in the past, but except for that, he's not really the kind of guy that talks even in a sexualized fashion about stuff, you know? And there's this weird cope of like, I mean, mate, look, one thing I will say, it could be that it's out of context. Always willing to say that it could be clipped very tightly. I just don't know what other context there could be that would make me think the way that some of that stuff is worded is like kind of acceptable, you know? Anyway, Lerix did respond here, which I thought was quite funny, okay? Says I look 14, talks about fucking my asshole 20 times, says I would look good in makeup and a dress, says being attracted to minors isn't bad. This guy needs to invest in a PR team. New client. Okay, right. As your new PR manager, I think the first thing you got to do is stop saying that people look 14 and then start talking about fucking in the ass. I think that's an important initial step. If you want to roast people, come up with something else. Step number 1, okay? Anyway, so this was just a little scrap of something that happened on Twitter, okay? As you see, clips floating around, kind of funny, had a bit of a laugh about it, quote tweeted it, whatever, okay? But then it got me thinking. I remember there's a drama with this guy that Harmful Opinions actually covered a little while ago. And we've talked about it, BTS, and he'd sent me some links that I'd meant to cover at one point. But I think it was in the midst of like the Mama Max Vosh stuff maybe, and I just never got round to it. But now is the perfect opportunity for us to go over that and make a nice little segment out of it. Wonderful. So we're going to do that now, okay? So there's a little bit of prelude until we get to the main event. Now, just to be clear, okay, Alec Gunter is the one that is making allegations against someone else, not being alleged against, okay? To be clear. Right? But there's a bit of background to this story. Now, this is a bit of a deep cut reference. For those of you who have watched my stream for a long time, I'll ask this. Do you guys know who card posting is? Does anyone here know who card posting is? Okay. So, okay. Basically, card posting is like a very small lefty YouTuber, breadtube guy. And the reason you might know about him if you watch my stream is there's been times where I've just kind of skimmed through the breadtube subreddit and one of his videos has popped up. And he's got this like very weird, odd kind of tone and way about him. You know, he kind of just sits there like this and he speaks with an Australian accent and he talks about, today we're going to be learning about fascist dog whistles. Well, you see this dog whistle here is the OK sign. The OK sign was used by fascists. He's very to the camera, matter of fact, laying it out. You know, very, very odd, unnerving style of content that he makes. Which, you know, you'll see when we get to it. I think it's like card posting or something like that is what it is, I believe. Anyway, we will get to him. We will get to him and you will see. Okay?
If you see people...
But anyway, this started off because Alec Gunter made a video criticizing this card posting guy. Okay? Don't worry, DK. We're going to get a bit of dog whistling discourse in here as well. You're in for a treat if you miss those days. We got some good memes in this, okay? So this all started because Alec Gunter made a video that was critical of card posting on the basis that card posting was like excessively bothered and concerned with dog whistles, okay? Now, I must say, this is a point in Alec's favor because this card posting guy is fucking obsessed with the idea of dog whistles, you know? So just to give you a kind of bit of an idea without giving away the game, without giving the game away, okay? Without giving the game away. But if you scroll down here, you can see, right? He has got countless videos about dog whistles. Look, the OK sign. What did I just say about the OK sign? So just to give you a kind of idea of the kind of thing that Alec is bothered by, this is one of his videos, just quickly, briefly to see, okay?
Hello there, my name's Card. I'm a long-time progressive community organiser and activist, and today I just wanted to briefly talk about a reactionary dog whistle that's been around for a few years and why it's used and what it means. For those who don't know, in politics, a dog whistle is a word or phrase or a symbol which seems innocent or innocuous to most people, but which really communicates a more sinister, hidden message to those in the know. there will be a playlist of videos of mine at the top of the description that goes into detail about all sorts of dog whistles and how to spot them. Today in...
Do you know what it is about this, though, right? Normally, I get very frustrated with some of the leftoid stuff. Okay? And I would, in a discussion with this guy, say, sincerely disagree with the way that he looks and talks about this stuff. But I can't help but feel like there's something endearing about this presentation that makes it difficult for me to, like, hate this guy or get angry at this guy. I'm just like... He's just in his shed.
How do I make money?
Do you know what I mean?
People?
$5 from the home.
He's just in his bloody shed, isn't he?
You should really mention your VODs are on Kick. I never knew until I took a quiz on your Kick yesterday.
Thank you for the $5. Yeah. All VODs are on Kick, Twitch. Well, normally Kick. Definitely Kick. Sometimes the Twitch VOD gets deleted, and normally on YouTube, okay? But it's different. He's got like 4.7k subs. He's got 1k views on this video, okay? Right? He's not really harming anyone, is he? He's just in his shed talking about dog whistles to 1,000 people, right? You know, someone gets a bit too excited about the idea of dog whistle. I don't know, man. I find it difficult to really care about it that much, okay? But nonetheless, I think if you want to criticize this take and criticize this perspective, totally fine. Totally within your rights to do that and issue a response, okay? So anyway, this is the nature of the kind of content this guy does. Lots of videos about lefty stuff and theory and videos about dog whistles and so on, okay? Anyway, so Alec responded to these kind of videos with this. So please don't be weird about dog whistles. And the thumbnail is a picture of this card posted guy, okay?
If you see people being racist, just call it out. If you see people being bigoted, just call it out. You don't have to be looking for these dog whistles, you know, like your Inspector Gadget, Go-Go Gadget dog whistle finder.
Oh my God, look. Yo!
Inspector Gadget, Go-Go Gadget dog whistle.
He'd look at this. He done him dirty. He's squashed his face to make him look like Inspector Gadget. Ooh. The start of the beef begins. By the way, guys, again, shout out to Harmful Opinions, who sent me all the stuff for this.
To Chud Nation.
And I'd forgotten to cover. I managed to pull it back up again. Harmful Opinions also covered this, so I really recommend his coverage too. And I watched it as part of this before, some of it. Go and watch it. Go and check it out. Harmful Opinions, friend of the channel. So, let's just watch a few minutes of this. And we're going to see what this guy's got to say for himself. Because this isn't the main thing, okay? We're going to look at this, look at the response, look at a bit of the backwards and forwards. And then we're going to look at the main event, which is the allegation video, and then we'll look at Card's response, okay?
Whistle finder. Dog whistles they're important to know. If somebody makes a dog whistle and you recognize it, you should, you know, understand what you're hearing and then take appropriate action, whatever that might be. If you're in the workplace, sometimes that can mean like addressing it with that person directly or going to your boss or something. You know, if you don't know what a dog whistle, by the way, is, a dog whistle is basically anytime you say something that is implied.
How would that work with the OK sign? Hey, would you mind just sending that report over? I need it for something. No worry. Okay, no worries, mate. Oh, what was that? A dog whistle. Uh-oh. HR time, baby.
To be racist, right? The implication is racist, but the words themselves may not be. For instance, a popular dog whistle is black on black crime, right? If somebody's saying, well, you know, cops are disproportionately killing and injuring black people, which is true, and then they say, well, what about the black on black crime in Chicago? What about that, huh? Nobody ever talks about that. 1350 is another great dog whistle. What that means is 13% of the population, black people, make up 50% of the criminals, which is not true. They make up 50% of the arrests, I believe, which just speaks to systemic racism. But even if you were...
He is really trying to do a Vosh, isn't he? He's really trying to do a Vosh. Oh, God, man. Oh, my God. Also, it's not a dog whistle. It's a response to the argument that's made. Now, you could say it's a bad response and argue that if you want, but it's not a dog whistle. If someone is saying that police disproportionately target or hurt or harm or shoot black people, which, you know, we don't need to get into now, but if you want to claim that, and then someone says in response, but what about the high rate of crime? What, you know, etc. What about the high rate of crime? What about cities like Chicago, where there are higher rates of black crime that exist? That's a response to the argument that you're making, right? Could be a bad one. It could be one you want to argue against, but that's not what a dog whistle means to me. Like a dog whistle is, the idea of it at least, is you are saying something that is not understood by anyone except the person you're actually intending it to reach. You know, hence dog whistle, because human can't hear it, but a dog can, right? So, you know, you might say the 1350 thing. You might just use the term 1350, not in response to an argument, but hey, 1350, am I right? People may not understand that if they're not ingratiated into internet culture, but other racists will. And here's the thing as well with it, okay? The whole concept is kind of retarded. Because the point of a dog whistle is that the people around don't know. So the idea is that you're going to what? Influence people to racism by saying things they don't understand and can only be understood by someone that also knows where you're coming from. And that's somehow going to influence these other people around you to be racist. The other thing as well is some of these dog whistles have been intentionally pushed on sites like 4chan to troll the libs, you know? And the whole point is to use, in some cases, you know, innocuous. People understand that something is cryptic and then investigate. If someone, apropos of nothing, said 1350 to someone else, okay, like the idea that that's going to lead to widespread racism because people are going to look that statistic up is retarded. Like, what an absurd concept that you think by saying 1350 is an inside joke to another racist in the room, that's going to have like a substantial impact on racism is absurd. Do you know why people are racist? I'll tell you why people are racist, okay? It's because they open their eyes. Now, come on, I'm fucking around, okay? People do not become racist because they hear a code word, a Manchurian candidate code word, and they go and look it up and they go, oh my God, I'm racist now. Look at all this crime, okay? You are racist because of a number of way more fundamental influences in your life that affect you over a period of time that lead you to certain conclusions. The idea that like these dog whistles are having a substantial impact on people becoming racist is so overstated. It's crazy. Anyway, I don't really care that much about the dog whistle thing. This is just setting the scene. Okay? This is setting the scene. So whether or not you agree, disagree, whatever, we don't need to get into it in that much detail. Okay? I don't really care. But at the end of the day, this started off with two lefty YouTubers having a response-style argument about dog whistles. Okay?
To take that stat as completely 100% true, you would still have to force the other person would still be forced to admit that what they're implying is that black people are somehow more prone to commit violent crime, right? Or crime in general, which black people do commit more crime, but that is a result of systemic racism and their economic circumstances more often than not, right? So anyway, the reason that we're talking about dog whistles is because this person decided to talk about the dog whistle of Friends, F-R-E-N-S. Apparently that's a dog whistle. Now, I've only ever heard of the word friends used from like uwu small bean type people as a stand-in for friends, F-R-I-E-N-D-S. So I don't think
Friends is yeah, that's like a Pepe thing, isn't it? You know, I've seen a bunch of like people posting a Pepe with friends and shit. Jomi probably knows. I can see you yeah, you're a prolific Friends user based on your profile picture. And some of the forums you claim you don't frequent, Jomi. I know.
think that, yeah, I don't see this being a dog whistle, but we'll give him a chance. So let's take a look.
Hello
That looks
there.
interesting.
My name's Card. I'm a long-time progressive community organizer and activist.
Okay.
And today,
Hello.
I just wanted to briefly talk about a reactionary dog whistle that's been around for a few years now, as well as what it really means and who's using it.
Seems like he's not a bad looking dude, but it does seem like he's kind of staring into my soul, you know? I wish he would back away from the camera just a little bit, or like
I mean, yeah, so far so good.
put something
So
in the
far so
background, you know
good.
what I mean?
That's
Like right
true.
now, it looks like he's about to, you know, pull out some power tools and experiment on my body, you know?
For those who might not know, in politics,
Not sure about the sound there, but yeah, that was kind of I can you know, that was pretty good. I'm a fan of that.
a dog whistle is a word, a phrase, or a symbol which seems perfectly innocent and
I can
innocuous
feel
to
that
most
energy.
people,
Right,
but
right.
which really communicates a more sinister hidden message to those in the know. There'll also be a playlist of videos of mine at the top of the description, which goes into detail about all sorts of dog whistles.
We're only going to watch a couple of minutes because we want to get to the good
Today,
stuff.
Yes, you are, my little pod champ.
I wanted to talk about
Thank
the
you, Shaker
term
the Pagan Man.
friends and how it's become a contemporary reactionary meme. When online alt-right sympathizers aren't hanging out in their own private web forums, they're on more mainstream sites like Twitter and Reddit, where they typically need to mask what they're talking about.
Right.
To that end, there's a lot of terms they use that are simple misspellings of normal everyday words, but which carry a vastly more
God, dude, I can't. It's the fact that they take it so serious, man. Maybe I'm just giga blackpilled now against this idea of fascism spreading through the word friends. It's just so absurd to me. The alt-right are secretly communicating their fascist ideas by using the word friends. It's like, dude, you're thinking too much into it, dude. Oh my God, man. Like, I don't know. Listen, I don't want to weigh in too much on it. I just want to get a little flavour of what's going on here. Okay. Anyway, it looks like Alec takes a break in a sec to look at some other stuff, so we can have a look at that.
Fun fact: the Neopets NFT project got in trouble with the community by using the word friends in promotional material. Is it that bad? I've only ever seen people use it like funny. You know what I mean? Like a meme. Here, let's do a quick experiment. The whole reason I'm watching this is because I think it's silly. It is that bad? No, it's not. It's like hello. Okay,
Oh,
that's
no.
what you meant. Somniostatic. Got it. Good night, friends. From Happy New Tire. Pro climate change, pro fossil fuels, pro nuclear power, anti. Okay. Well, I have no reading on this, guys. All I want is peace and coziness. Okay. Friends. From Pokemon Gems. A late good morning, me friends. Me sleep in today, but is fubbin' Friday. We
Yeah, it's a Pepe meme, right? Yeah.
made it. Introvert. 99 plus unread messages, unfinished projects, unfulfilled childhood ambitions, crippling mental state.
And funnily enough, the Pepe thing became so much of a meme because it was like identified as a hate symbol, right? And then there was, I remember a period of time where the Pepe meme became a lot more like this. It was pushed to being more kind of like absurdly cute because then it was like, how can you hate this little guy, you know? So yeah, this is the other problem we have with this dog whistle fucking bullshit is people in response to getting called a dog whistle turn it to the point of absurdity. So, you know, you are then freaking out about something like this getting posted. No, you don't understand. It's a dog whistle. It's a dog whistle. And to other people around you. I think that's the other function of it too. And probably the more substantial function is it works to make you look crazy when you point it out, you know, which again is part of the dog whistle. Can you hear that? Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear that? It's like the bugs on the skin thing. Can you guys, I got frogs all over my skin. Can't you see them? It makes you look absurd for getting so het up and pointing it out as well. So the whole narrative about this stuff is just so absurd, and progressives just dig themselves. Well, is it still bad? It probably is. People still probably fucking talk stupid shit about it. But for a time, it was crazy. It was like people were going insane over the dog whistle stuff. You know. So anyway, I think we understand the tone of this video. So far, it's kind of pretty humorous. I don't feel like he's doing anything, you know, that crazy. Oh shit, what's this? I clicked the wrong thing. Anyway, so this was Alec Gunter's original video. Let's move through because we want to get to the juicy stuff, okay? So then, would you believe it? Card posting, Mr. Lefty Organizer actually decided to respond.
Hello there.
That is a wild way to start a video. I'm going to start my videos like that from now on. Wait, am I looking in the right place? Is it there? I can't, I have to blink. Hello there. I'm here to talk to you about dog whistles. If you don't pay attention to dog whistles, you run the risk of getting raped by a Nazi. So listen good. Okay, anyway.
Hello there. My name's Card. I'm a long-time progressive community organizer and activist. And
Oh.
for a little while now, I've been making these videos I'm interested in here on YouTube as a hobby. Something in particular I've been doing on here is making a whole series of videos, each only a few minutes long, where I explain the meaning behind all sorts of different reactionary dog whistles. If you don't know, dog whistles are the words, phrases, and symbols used by people like those in the far right to covertly signal their beliefs to one another without other people finding out. Personally, I think it was a good idea to start making these videos about different dog whistles and what they mean and how to spot them. Incidentally, I'll also link the playlist of them at the top of the description if you want to look through them yourself. But
Dude, am I like crazy on this? That I'm watching this and I can't get angry or frustrated at this guy like I might do some other soy person. There's like an anxiety about, there's like an anxious energy about him that I'm just like, oh well, you know, he's in his shed, he's all right. He's linking his dog whistle. Yeah, I'm going to link my dog whistle playlist. Like there's a certain kind of lack of malice. There's a complete lack of malice in how he's going about this.
the thing to take away here is online far right-wing...
Like, yeah, in his, like, exactly. He clearly is very genuine, right? Like, he thinks this is important and he believes that by putting videos out about these dog whistles, he's, like, helping the left and tearing down the fascists. And I just can't get mad at that because I'm like, you genuinely, like, I'm giga blackpilled, obviously, on all this shit. But he clearly believes this. He believes he is fighting the good fight. And it seems pretty obvious too. He's not like shilling super hard, right? He's just kind of doing his thing. Anyway, continuing on.
There's a lot of different slang terms and emojis with secret meanings they've made up. And I've been talking about them recently.
He's not condescending either.
Now,
yeah, true.
The reason I'm making this video is that I found out about 24 hours ago that a self-described leftist variety streamer called Alec Gunter uploaded a video on his channel wherein he shares his thoughts about one of the more popular dog whistles videos of mine.
Uh-oh.
In his video, Gunter is of the opinion that I'm wrong about the prominent use of a particular dog whistle among online reactionaries, and that I'm wrong to suggest that progressives should keep an eye out for these sorts of things. Today, I'd just like to simply respond to Alec Gunter, and in doing so, make two main points. One, that he's wrong on the specific issue my original video was about, that he contends with, and two, more importantly, the broader attitude Gunter has here is way off. I'll get to exactly what I mean by that in a moment, but first things first, what the surface level disagreement between him and me is. He thinks I'm very wrong about how online reactionaries use the word friend, spelled F-R-E-N, and what it means. In my original video, I briefly explained...
I mean, as much I disagree with his premise about this, obviously, okay, and the way he talks about it, but I think that I've not watched all of the original video, of course, but it does come across in the early stages that I watched that it's true that this friend thing is used by these righties, and it's to the point of absurdity now. But it's used to almost diminish, so that if you target the idea of someone using friend, it sounds absurd, but they're doing it for that reason to rile you up discreetly or something, right? Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's like so absurd to get mad about friend, but that is the thing they say to each other, right? The fucking far righties have used this in the past. I think it's fallen out of favor a bit now, but this is a thing that they do say, right?
That in recent years, friend has become a word that a lot of alt-right guys use to surreptitiously make jokes with one another. They use it in memes, along with their other iconography, to signal their beliefs to one another on online platforms where they can't be as openly alt-right as they want to be. The fact that it sounds really dumb and that other people might use it innocently is the point. That way they've got at least a little plausible deniability if someone calls them out.
Yo!
Alec Gunter apparently does not understand this.
Uh-oh.
And let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he isn't just knowingly trying to obfuscate how the word is being used by a lot of people. In his video, Gunter watches my explanation of the friend dog whistle, and he essentially just continuously throws up his hands and...
Yeah, the thing is, he's saying it's not for plausible deniability. It's because it's to make you look retarded. It's to make you look like you're screaming about being covered in bugs, right? you're really getting upset about me using the word friend. And you're saying it's some sort of nice dog. Here's a good example of this. I can't remember who it was that did it. Actually, it was a lefty that I'm kind of, I think, I've spoken to. I remember vaguely it being on Twitter. Anyways, someone who's seen the Stone Toss comic, right? Where you've got the first panel is like complaining about representation or something, and then the second panel is a bunch of black kids watching Dragon Ball, wearing Dragon Ball clothes. The clear message being, well, look at these black kids. They really liked Dragon Ball and could relate to it, even though that wasn't their race. So therefore, this push for diversity that you're doing is not necessary when you make good content like Dragon Ball that people can relate to, regardless of race. Okay? Do you know the comic I'm talking about that Stone Toss did? Right? Basically, someone shared it and they claimed that it was a dog whistle, and that the dog whistle was that it was saying that black people are aggressive, are violent, and it was a secret dog whistle trying to say they're violent, and it's like, you're looking too hard for the dog whistles, bro. It's not what that means, okay? This idea that was created to paint this image that black people... I mean, listen, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of Stone Toss comics that do say stuff like that, okay? But this particular comic, the very clear message was, you don't need to push for diversity when you make good content. Look at how people related, regardless of race, to the Dragon Ball characters, right? And yeah, exactly. So it's like twofold. It makes you look silly because you're seeing something that isn't there. And then you also sound racist, don't you? You also sound very racist because you're then saying, apropos of your own perception of it, wow, that's trying to say that blacks are racist, blacks are violent. Anyway, so a lot of this stuff is not necessarily for plausible deniability. It is because it makes you look silly if you attack it, right? Because oftentimes you are silly for attacking it. Because much of the time, there isn't anything there that you need to worry about. Anyway, like I say, not looking to get too deep into it. But yeah, I can't hate this guy. Let's watch a couple more minutes, and then we'll move on, and I'll show you the kind of main event, okay?
And says that he, for one, has never seen it used that way, so he thinks what I've said is wrong. I'll also link Gunter's video in the description for the sake of transparency, but here's the gist of what he says as he's watching it.
Is it that bad? I've only ever seen people use it like funny. You know what I mean? Like a meme. Here, let's do a quick experiment. The whole reason I'm watching this is because I think it's silly. It is that bad? No, it's not. I just don't see it being used in a bad way, from what I can tell. You would be hard pressed to convince me that that's how it originally started. You know what I mean? I don't know about that. I don't know. Like, okay, I could be wrong, but it seems very silly. Oh, I saw you say friends on Twitter the other day when talking about your stuffed animals. Hello, white nationalist, fellow white nationalist. How do you do? Like, it doesn't work.
Alec tries to argue that friend isn't used as a dog whistle.
Oh.
And that I'm wrong to say that it is.
Uh-oh.
That's the whole reason, ostensibly, this video of his exists. My original video was only 4 minutes long, but somehow, Alec manages to go nuh-uh enough to stretch it out into 14 minutes and some change. So, I'm going to try and keep my rebuttal simple here.
Oh my god, damn. He's not happy with that. He's not happy with the stretching. Just sounds like he's trying to be transformative.
Alec is absolutely wrong when he insists friend isn't being used as a dog whistle. And if Alec had a modicum of sense, he could have used the computer in front of him to Google the word and educate himself. Among the first results would be this Wiktionary page explaining the word's meaning and how it's used as a dog whistle.
Oh, he's got the receipts, guys.
Would be this Wiktionary page.
Friend, etymology, pronunciation, spelling of friend, internet slang, a fellow, a friend. 3, alt-right, internet slang. A fellow, white nationalist or fascist, a comrade on the far right. Da, da, da.
Explaining the word's meaning and how it's used as a dog whistle. Numerous Reddit posts explaining the same thing from around the time the admins over there started cracking down on this sort of thing. I found this reporting from the ADL about a very popular alt-right Substack page called Pepe's...
Ooh. 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 The ADL, eh? You're gonna cite the ADL, are we? Interesting choice.
Friend Zone, as well as entries on both Know Your Meme and Rational Wiki for what those are worth. He could also have just searched the word friend on Twitter, where, as you might expect, practically every result is of an alt-right account posting it alongside their frog meme.
Wait a second. Black's taking L's. I'm pretty sure that account follows me, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure why. I don't really post that much. Wait, it says ends posting F, bro. Dude. That's nuts,
wonderful.
man.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
$5 from Don't Smile Dean, you got a friend in me.
Thank you for the $5. Yeah, look. We're moots. We're mooties. We're mooties on Twitter. Ooh, that is they don't follow that many people either. That's interesting. It does make you wonder sometimes, like what like I don't mind. I'm just fine. It's, I follow them. I follow them so I can look at the memes that they share and shake my head the entire time, to be clear, okay? But yeah. No, it's not my alt account now. I mean, look. I'm not one to say something's racist normally. But the account is literally called @ends. You right? Posting Fs. It's wild, man. And this, like, I'm sorry. Show me a fucking meme that expresses a lefty sentiment that gets the message across as in as funny and a concise way as this. Does it exist? I don't know, man. Every fucking lefty meme you see is walls of text. But this is just... Sorry to break it to you. These dog whistles are working. Anyway.
Also, searching an archive of the poll 4chan board for the word turned up over 514,000 results from just the past year.
Oh.
Alec, it is a term the alt-right use. And when people who know more about these things are trying to tell you about them, you should listen like an adult rather than sit there refusing to understand and trying to make an argument out of it.
Yo, he's little broing him. He's little broing this guy. Oh my goodness.
That brings me to the other thing that I wanted to discuss today. Gunter fundamentally does not understand what keeping an eye out for dog whistles, online or elsewhere, actually entails, or why you should do it. Towards the end of his video, Alec uses some particularly pointed language to say that it's wrong of me to be able to spot these sorts of things whenever they're present. I also think he genuinely does not understand the point of dog whistles in general. It's not that they are intrinsically offensive in the same way as...
How does this guy organise? I'm going to go on a limb and say that he probably does more in terms of IRL political organising than all the top RedTube types combined. I mean, he's got a 4K sub-channel. He's in his shed.
Okay, that's wonderful.
He probably is
But
doing
how do
stuff.
make
I mean, fair play to
money
him.
off depressed people?
$5 from
He's living his dream.
I have no friends. I
I can't really criticise him for that,
I
you know.
have no girlfriend. I hardly see my family.
Thank you very much for the $5. Appreciate it. Honestly, I've got every reason to... Dude, I can't help it. This guy's just endearing, you know? Like, the other thing I think about him too is he's not copying or imitating anyone, is he? He's not like, right, I like this content creator, so I'm going to do that style of content. He is just putting it out there, his full self. He's full sending. He's full sending.
Blur is that they serve to hide someone's actual beliefs. Anyway, here's another clip.
If this guy is unironically looking for dog whistles this hard, he doesn't strike me as somebody that I particularly want to hang out around, because I feel like I'd be walking on eggshells the entire time. You know what I mean? I don't want to coalition build with this asshole because he's probably, like, I don't know for sure, But based on this video, the impression I'm getting is that this guy cannot take a punch, metaphorically, okay? Like, he just can't. If you don't speak exactly the way that he wants you to, then he will not allow you to be around him. You know what I mean? Or like he'll correct you or something. Like, it seems weird. Gives the bad vibes. You could misspell friend once and get permit. Yeah, don't be like this guy. Don't make people around you walk on eggshells. If you're telling your friends unironically that like, hey, sweaty, using the term friends is actually a big no-no around me, and it's going to trigger me, and because I saw this card posting video that said, no, don't want anything to do with you. I have no time.
Funnily enough,
I don't think he was even saying that though. I don't think card posting was even saying that necessarily. As much as I disagree with his view on it, it's like he's just saying, be aware, be wary.
Gunter's whole video comes across almost exactly like how a reactionary would try to discredit someone trying to bring attention to right-wing dog whistles.
Oh,
What with acting like a concept can't be real because he doesn't understand it, and needlessly calling someone he disagrees with an asshole, right down to the way he chose to make his video thumbnail an unflattering screenshot of me mid-sentence surrounded by some all-caps text missing the point entirely. But I am glad he made the remarks that I look like I couldn't take a metaphorical punch, and that you wouldn't want to build a coalition with me. It gives me an opportunity to say, firstly, I hear far worse things from plenty of people every day, and it rolls off me like water off a duck's back. And I'm certainly not afraid to stand by my convictions and tell you that what you've said is absolutely moronic. Furthermore, you aren't going to build coalitions with anyone. Streaming is not engaging in mass politics. In fact, virtually nothing that happens online is. If you were in so much as a...
Okay, that's one.
bro, this guy's so based.
Okay, that's wonderful. People. But how do I make money off depressed people?
What does this mean? You are stealing the content of both of these creators.
Thank you guys.
Adding them to the class action lawsuit.
Thank you for the 420, Dark Viper. Good luck with your medical issues, whatever they may be. Okay.
Nightly tenant union.
Dude, that was actually based.
The duck's back. And I'm certainly not afraid to stand by my convictions and tell you that what you've said is absolutely moronic. Furthermore, you aren't going to build coalitions with anyone. Streaming is not engaging in mass politics. In fact, virtually nothing that happens online is.
Yes.
If you were in so much as a fortnightly tenants union meeting, or were sitting in on the planning committee of your local pride parade, and you couldn't go 10 minutes without calling people you disagree with assholes like that, you would be firmly told to leave. You are not a political organizer. You are some schlub who aspires to a career in online media.
Oh my god! He's literally calling it as he sees it. Holy shit. Roasted.
And frankly, I don't think particularly highly of anyone whose entire sense of politics is just finding people online to try and antagonize. It's not an attitude that conveys serious about trying to work together towards a common cause. Not to mention all the catty little remarks about me you make sure to pepper throughout your piece.
I wish he would back away from the camera just a little bit, or like put something in the background, you know what I mean? Like right now, it looks like he's about to, pull out some power tools and experiment on my body, It does seem like he's kind of staring into my soul, It's too liberal for me. It's too libby. Gross.
Alec, I appreciate that you think it's good to be able to take those metaphorical punches. So, real talk here. You shouldn't be commenting on how anyone else's video background looks, or calling them fragile lefty stereotypes. Your setup looks like this. Between the hipster beard, and the flannel shirt, and the slack jaw, and the glasses, and the pink lighting, and the gamer chair, and the fact you call yourself a leftist variety streamer, if you were more familiar with reactionary online terminology, you might know this all forms an archetype that a lot of people call the soy new male bugman. Thankfully, though, you're pretty ignorant about this kind of stuff.
He just cooked him so bad! Oh, dude, what the fuck? That was crazy!
So you won't know it's meant to be derogatory. But if you, Alec,
he's
or
mogging
anyone
him
watching this, would like to learn about all sorts of dog whistles and how to spot them, I've got just the playlist of videos for you at the top of the description. There's all sorts of newer, obscure stuff in there that I'm sure you don't already know about. Like
I'm just hoping he doesn't comment on me. I don't know if I could cope with that. I'd be like, oh man, God person just destroyed me. I need to be careful around this guy. Dude, this guy, the way his soy new male bugman was so good.
Clapperboard emoji, or why racists like to joke about people not having had breakfast yesterday.
That's a good one.
I'm putting all this dog whistle
Mob
stuff aside,
posting.
so I can make some final, more general points here to close. Videos like this one of Mr. Gunter's are some of the worst stuff in the political section of this website. It's such low-effort crap, made by saying the most inane things day in, day out. And about
Yo!
topics you can't even be bothered to Google clearly, just for the sake of trying to wring out a few pennies from YouTube ads or the occasional parasocial rube subscriber.
Oh my god, dude! This guy's on one. He's unstoppable. This is violent.
Alec, maybe you should take a step back from the streaming for a bit. I obviously think it's okay to want to make low-budget videos about things you're interested in, but you should try making something that you can be proud of. Not this slapdash nonsense watching other people's videos and being wrong about them every day.
God!
Do we really
I feel called out as well! Let's go!
need another one of these dime a dozen wannabe Vouch clones?
Oh,
Surely the one...
dude! He is really getting to the heart of it as well. Because, yeah, Alec is just a Vouch clone.
already need nonsense, but you should try making something that you can be proud of. Not this slapdash nonsense watching other people's videos and being wrong about them every day. Do we really need another one of these dime a dozen wannabe Vouch clones? Surely the one is already more than plenty. What meaningful content do you want to bring to the platform? As for me, obviously I didn't expect to need to make this video, especially not on such short notice. Other than that, I have some more stuff that I want to film and release probably around early March, and that does include many more videos about dog whistles. All that said, if you're a viewer of mine who's stuck with me so far,
Damn.
until then, bye for now, see you later, and stay safe out there.
That was crazy. I think the problem, like, the reason it is so on the nose is because I do think, well, to be fair to Alec, I think he's gone to, like, council meetings to talk about trans stuff and whatnot, right? So you can maybe argue there's something there. But I think that, yeah, like, this card posting is undoubtedly going to tenants' meetings and, you know, he probably does do stuff in the real world that has an impact on his local politics. And I think that's very commendable, you know? And, yeah, Alec is just a Vosh clone, you know? He is. We've all been there, okay? But I would have thought that by this point, Alec would have kind of moved away from trying to so closely imitate. Like, it's just dripping in Voshism. Do you know what I mean? It's like you've got to try and find a voice for yourself to move forward to make content. And I think a lot of people get stuck in the trap of just, you know, imitating the creator that they look up to or something. But yeah. Also, listen, this is a bit of an aside, okay? Bit of an aside. But apparently, maybe after this bit, we can watch the harmful opinions debate and you can see. But from what I understand, this guy was like it's funny that he made a lot of, I mean, you can make content about whatever you want, right? But he made a lot of content about this guy and how, obviously saying there's no coalition building and talking about the lefty stuff, but apparently didn't really go in on Vosh at all. And when questioned about it, didn't really want to go into it. So it's kind of funny that this card posting guy is kind of who he's going in on. But then when Vosh is exposed for having this absolutely insane porno on his computer, kind of different approach, I guess you could say. Okay. Anyway, it goes backwards and forwards. Okay. So we don't need to watch all of this, but just a little flavour.
What? The beard and the flannel shirt and the slack jaw and the glasses.
The slack jaw? Hold on, I didn't say nothing about your fucking looks, man. All I said was back away from the camera, and then I commented on your background. Come on, man.
Oh, come on, man, dude. Why would you put that as the intro? Hey, thank you for the 420. You better not come at me again, Chud. Guess what? I've just hired to write my next video about you. Dude, you insulted him first. You insulted him first, and he roasted you back twice as hard, and you don't like it. I mean, yeah, welcome to the internet. That's the way it goes, bro.
Okay, so if you're watching this, that means that you probably watched another video of mine called...
Yeah,
Please...
you said that this guy looks like he was going to, you know, use power tools on you. And you get upset when he... Well, here's the problem. This is the fundamental problem with that, right? Alec went at him with the energy of just trying to insult him through any means he possibly could. Okay? So, but the problem is he picked things or spoke about things that clearly card posting is not that bothered about. He probably recognizes he's a bit of a weirdo or whatever, right? But then when Alec hit back, he hit back with stuff that actually hurt and was insulting. So that's why he probably feels upset about it, you know? Oh boy, crazy. Anyway, let's get to the good stuff because, you know, this is fun, but you guys, you maybe are going to start to see what happens here, okay? So, Alec responds with this video, all right? This guy responds,
Hello there.
again, to the video we just had up on screen there, okay? If you want, by all means, go and look at their channel and watch for the full context, but that's like over an hour's worth of content, and I want to keep things moving, okay? So anyway, it was pretty standard stuff, backwards and forwards, arguing via responses, and so on. Okay? Right? But then, something kind of crazy happened. And Alec Gunter, after this response, released a video.
They're often.
Which
so
I
that they can
partly watched. I think I skipped through it. And this video is called Fake Bread Tuber Exposed. Card Posting's Crimes. So you know what that means, guys? Don't you? Rate review, rate review, rate review, rate review. What's your volume? What's your volume, guys? So yeah, it's like 45 minutes long. Let's see what he's got to say. Let's see what he's found.
Writing out these little scenes and other little practice pieces did start to leave me feeling a bit more confident about what I was doing. Oh, confident is spelled with an A. Wait. Wait. Look at this. He's so confident in his writing, isn't he? Jesus, man. Jesus Christ. Spell check. Spell check. Come on. It's a cheat code. You literally have a cheat code and you still can't do this shit. What's wrong with you?
Oh. Who is this guy's editor? That's it. That is very weak to include as your kind of intro. Oh, he spelt a word wrong. Really? Like, that's the best clip from this? Oh, look, he spelt a word wrong. Who cares?
John David Card. Who is he? What does he want? Why is he here? All questions that we would love to have answered. Now, for those who may be confused, John David Card, also known as Card Posting, is somebody that I came across quite recently. He had a video on my front page. And as you can see, I have many tabs open. Many tabs open. And we're going to get into all of them. So strap in, folks. We got a fun ride for you, all right? Fun ride. So here's Card Posting for you. This is Mr. John David Card. Now, John David Card set out to do an interesting, not experiment, an interesting project, basically. He has the dog whistle series, okay? And you can see my lovely face right there. We'll get into that in a second. So he does this dog whistle series, and I happened upon one of his videos called Dog Whistles 101. Friends, right? So I wanted to watch it.
The thing about this is like, what did Card Posting really do to justify? I like, he talks some shit on you in a video, you know, and now we've got this exposed. And look, maybe there's some serious thing that you've got to expose about him, but it just comes across as like, you know, you're having a sort of public backwards and forwards, and now you found a bunch of stuff to go over. I don't know, man. We'll see. Let's see what he's got to offer.
Over it on my stream and just give my honest thoughts on it. And if you'd like to go see that video, you can go watch that. This is the third video in the trilogy, by the way. We're ending strong. Okay? We're ending strong. All right? So that's the first video in the trilogy. Now, he responded then. He responded to my response, in which he said basically that I'm an idiot and I don't know what I'm talking about, right? I really went into that thinking that he would respond with an open heart, an open mind, and good intentions. I did. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? So I was disappointed. I was just disappointed. You know, let me give you a little sampling, all right?
Progressive community organizer.
Now, as you can see from the serial killer vibes, you know, he has a way with words, a way with an audience. as you can see here, okay? Let me give you a little sampling of what he had to say about me. Friend once and get permit. Yeah, don't be like this guy. I have no time.
Funnily enough, Gunter's whole video comes across almost exactly like how a reactionary would try to discredit someone trying to bring attention to right-wing dog whistle.
Absolutely, buddy.
What with
of course.
acting like a concept can't be real because he doesn't understand it, and needlessly calling someone he disagrees with an asshole.
The ball, not the man. I'm sorry. No, this is fixable. This is fixable. All I said was back away from the camera and fix your background. This is all fixable. He looks fine as a person. All I said is back away from the camera. 1, fix your background. 2, this is all fixable. Right now, it's serial killer vibes. I'm not backing off of that.
Right down to the way he chose to make his...
I just don't understand. You talk some shit on him and he talks some shit on you. Yeah, like, it's so crazy to me to act like there's like this big difference we need to make. You were talking shit on him. If you were, you know, down the line with it and were just very respectful towards him, but said, I disagree, here's where I disagree, you know, it could be that you would have gotten a better kind of response, but you went for the neck, so you got it back.
His video thumbnail, an unflattering screenshot of me mid-sentence, surrounded by some all-caps text.
I can't. It's
just make a quick comparison, okay?
It's
There's
all
some
over the
distance. We got the lights in the background that are better at night. All right, granted. But, you know, I got some decorations up. It's not a garage, okay? It doesn't feel like I'm about to get tortured. If he could at least explain himself and be like, I simply don't have any other option but to do this shitty setup, then I'd get it. But he didn't. He didn't bother explaining that.
But
this is how he chooses to present himself.
He made the remarks that I...
What is this? He didn't need to explain why he's in a shed, does he? Well, he's just in a shed. Who cares? Yeah, why does he have to explain his shed setup? Okay, anyway.
Look like I couldn't take a metaphorical...
What was the deal with making your thumbnail like that? Like what? I thought this was a masterpiece. What's wrong with it? It is classic meme format, impact font meme format. It's great.
And tell you that what you've said is absolutely moronic.
See?
Well, the thing is, I think I don't really care about thumbnails that much. They're supposed to be a bit provocative, right? But from his perspective, from Card Poster's perspective, he probably feels like he was being misrepresented from the thumbnail throughout the video, I guess, right?
Furthermore,
Here we go.
You aren't going to build coalitions with anyone. The streaming is not engaging in mass politics. In fact,
I'm not coalition building, by the way.
Online is. If you were in so much as a fortnightly tenants union meeting, or were sitting in on the planning committee of your local pride parade, and you couldn't go 10 minutes without calling people you disagree with arseholes like that, you would be firmly told to leave.
So yeah, as you can see, this man has been doing many things in real life. Anyway, we're going to move on to the next part of this discussion. So he made a response. So I made a response to that, and then he made another response, right? And that's this one. And we're not going to go over the whole thing. I don't give a shit. Basically, he finds 50 different ways to call me the R slur, and that's about it. So we're going to move on from that. And we're going to move over to this level.
Okay. I can't imagine that this fellow would be wanting to say the R slur. I guess he just means he called you stupid a bunch, right?
Video here. Now, I pulled up this video to make a point. I don't like the way, my initial way. Oh, there he is in chat. Hello, card posting. Welcome. Welcome, my friend. Would you like to, let me offer you right now. Would you like to come on stream? I've set this entire thing up, but I will put it all aside. If you would like to come on stream right now, my friend, I will open that door for you. Sorry, it's not actually me. You son of a bitch. You had me going. Good job. Anyway, let's, God damn it. All right, let's keep going.
Why would you not edit that out? The editing choices, I mean, obviously I'm not an editor. DK does all of that, but I don't know. It's just a weird thing to include.
So I pulled up this video to make a point. Man, how dare you? How dare you? I should ban you for that. Don't ban him. It's fine. Anyway, he fessed up. He fessed up. So I pulled up this video to make a point. I don't like the way that he presents himself. First of all, you got to work on your drip. I'm sorry. It could be cute, but like with the setup, it just, the whole package is just so not attractive. Okay. And like I said in my second video of the trilogy, you have to present yourself well when you're doing activist content. Part of it is optics, right? You have to look good. You have to present yourself well. All right. And this is not good presentation. It's not. All right. Yeah. It could be cute grandpa drip. It could be, but he's just too creepy. So I just don't buy it. All right. So yeah, I pulled this up just.
Like literally what is wrong? He's wearing a sweater with a shirt. Is he really that badly presented here? This is like such a weird argument. I mean, are you meeting that criteria, dude? I don't know. I like that sweater. He's got a nice sweater. I feel very defensive of this guy. The annoying thing is like, I probably would agree more with Alec's position on this fundamentally, but like, I just really disagree with the way he's gone about this. And it seems like every choice he's making is the wrong one. And it just makes card posting look all the better. But anyway, let's
just
see.
to give an example. So let's go, what's the timestamp? 1526. So let's see what he has to say on the subject of cis heteronormativity, deconstructing it for fun and clout. Go ahead.
In a lot of leftist circles, your voice will be given less weight if you present as a typical straight white man.
By the way, I've never had that experience ever.
That might sound like a right-wing lie, but it's true, and actually it's good, because it's correcting for the fact that those sorts of voices and opinions have long historically been, and still are, given disproportionate
Okay. We're in a battle of the soys now. This is a battle of the soys, so I'm not going to like either side here, I think.
weight everywhere else in society because of that aforementioned patriarchy and the institutional racism and sexism.
It's a Cosby
and so on.
sweater.
Here's the thing. You can get around a lot of that by being visibly and loudly queer. And here's the magic reason why it works. Because we all agree that simply identifying as something is what makes it real. Knowing this, I won't act in bad faith per se, and my support for queer rights isn't disingenuous. But if we make identity this malleable, but still attach this much meaning to it, then I am going to take it as far as I'm enabled to do so. Bonus points to the fact it makes outright reaction.
It looks like a youth bastard.
And all the bad kind of liberals mad too. I'm perfectly ready, willing, and able to claim any sort of identity and pronouns in the moment if it seems advantageous or fun.
So let's unpack that. He is willing and able.
How is he going to do... Wait, what? I'm pretty sure that the point card posting is making, which, again, very soy for my tastes, but I think he's just saying that, well, let's push things to the point of absurdity in terms of identifying a certain way. This narrative of, oh, people are going to just do it, who cares? Identify however you want, use whatever pronouns you want, and point out the absurdity of the gender-based system or something like that, I think is what he's trying to say.
To take on any identification he wants in the moment if it seems advantageous at that time. Is he allowed to do that? Sure, I guess. But why would you admit to that? Why would you go around saying to people, yeah, you know, I pretend to be trans or non-binary when it suits my needs. Oh, you know, like he literally says this in the video, by the way. I shit you not. He says, if somebody hires me or refuses to hire me, I can just switch gender statuses and sue him. He says that in this video. I shit you not.
And you should...
I mean, yeah. In some places, you could do that, absolutely. Because if you live in a place where broadly in society it's considered that you can say you're something and you're that thing, sure. He's going to show, I think.
And I'll tell you what, there's nothing that gets you over your internalized heteronormativity quicker either. Gatekeeping is bad, but it's kind of done away with when no facet of your identity is necessarily set in stone. Further still, it almost sounds like I'm the regressive one here.
Yes.
But actually...
It sure does! It sure does! Wow! Wow! You hit the nail on the head, Card. Good job.
On the matter is...
Well, no, clearly... Okay. Clearly the point... Okay, this is so difficult because this is all just dripping in soy, okay? But it's so obvious that the point that card posting is making is that it sounds crazy and reactionary to say this, okay? But it isn't if you think about it. Point out how absurd it is, do what you need to do to get your results, even if it means identifying a certain way. Become unsileable. No, I don't know. I don't agree with it, but it's kind of, well, when I say I don't agree with it, I just find it very cringe, this idea that, you know, you can push things to the point of absurdity in a very cynical way. But like, is there an argument against what he's saying here? Like, no, it's more so just going, well, look, he's saying it there. Look, he's saying he's kind of reactionary. He's saying you can identify however you want. Like, there's nothing really, in terms of Alec's politics, there's not really anything wrong with what card posting is saying. But he's trying to problematize it to act like card posting is some sort of ravaging reactionary for pointing this out, you know?
In reality, the furthest left it seems possible to get at the moment. To put it simply, TERFs are wrong and bad. Trans medicalists are wrong and bad, and I will talk over them at every opportunity.
Agreed on that, at least.
A woman-only space sounds innocuous enough, but it's unfortunately often a TERF dog whistle. Fortunately,
that's also
you can
true.
rhetorically maneuver around that sort of argument now. Remember, you're perfectly able to say whatever you need to subvert exclusionary spaces.
And what he just said right there is that if he wants to go peek in a woman's restroom, all he has to do is say, I am transgender, I'm a trans femme. Why would you say that? Optics, man. Okay, we don't do that. Nobody does that. Nobody.
I mean, it's true though, right? The logic of some of these. I know. Listen, I'm going to let the two stories fight it out here. Okay. I did my gender stuff yesterday. You may be wondering, this guy's very concerned about lefty optics. You might be wondering, what was his opinion when Vosh, big lefty streamer, showed a file for the pornography that was very degenerate. Not sure if he's given a take on that, but yeah.
But now you've opened up the door for people to think that they do. Why the fuck would you say that? This is insane. It's insane. Anyway, point being is optics are shit. Okay, so I already have a problem with him on that basis alone. Now, during my research, I really thought, because he said several times in many of his videos that he did real life work. And so I was willing to give this guy the benefit of the doubt and say, you know, maybe this is just a well-meaning guy, right? Who wants to, you know, be progressive and do good things, right? But as it turns out, that's not the case. We're going to go into that later, but I'm just telling you guys that now to set you up for some severe disappointment. Okay?
Ooh.
It's not good. Anyway, let's move on. So this is just my comment section. I got a couple of comments. I just want to go over one real quick. This one from okay then. This was very entertaining. I've been aware of Card for a little while. Some time ago, I found that I was subscribed to his odd channel with no memory of having subscribed. Curious, I checked his channel in the URL Wayback Machine. And it turns out he had built up a few thousand subscribers because he used to post Chapo Trap House clips under the name Acid Marxist too. Implying he was associated with a popular Chapo clip channel called Acid Marxist. Since then, I've been spamming his videos on Reddit and writing things like, very worth watching in the post titles. So I don't think there are a lot of genuine organic Card fans out there. I think this is Card. I opened this comment thinking that it was one of the ones that was bringing concern, but now that I'm reading it, I think this genuinely is Card. Because he's trying to get ahead of what's coming next. We'll get into that. Let's see. I know that there's another comment where somebody mentioned that they know who he is. Here we go, from Sankaku Band. There's a lot of shit about this guy people don't know, by the way. He is definite grifter. Who was spent a lot of time harassing transgender friends of mine and attempting to, quote, expose us to kiwi farms. A lot of the regular FTMs on 4chan's LGBT board know this guy, where he often shows his true colors. He also got a Discord server.
This is going off of YouTube comments is pretty fucking dicey. I mean, fucking why would you just go? YouTubers, who are these people? You can say literally anything on a YouTube comment. Like, get to the cold hard facts, right? Here's the bad stuff that I've got that I found about this guy that you need to see. Going over these YouTube comments and claiming that it's probably him makes you look totally schizophrenic. Yes, Stylo, yeah, it's the same as taking information from Reddit and believing it whole cloth without any further look at it.
I was once banned entirely by holding it basically ransom and reporting us if we didn't give him money. I ended up leaving that server due to issues with genuine racism, but that's besides the point. The guy also has a video on his channel where he openly admits to IDing as non-binary solely for clout with progressive circles as a way to game the system. We just watched that. So beautiful. So there's some spoilers in here. There's some spoilers. I apologize, but I had to give you guys an idea of where we're going with this because that's how we got to be where we're at. I don't just dislike the guy. He's a piece of shit, and we're going to get into it. Let's move on. So that's his YouTube presence.
So yeah, it's like he's framing it like this sounds more like you just don't like him, and so you found whatever you can to shit on him, which is fine. Admit that. Yeah, this guy is a fucking dickhead. I don't want to shit on him. Fine, but he's trying to kind of justify what he's about to do, I guess. And it's like, unless there's something pretty substantial here, like what is he like? I'm not seeing it. I guess maybe we're gonna see and he's gonna show us. But yeah, I'm a bit perplexed as to the way this is being framed, acting like, you know, he's this real bad dude and stuff, you know? Especially when you consider that you're reading just the YouTube comments. But anyway, let's continue.
Let's talk about his Reddit presence. Now, his Reddit account, as it turns out, is banned. He does not have a John David Card Reddit account. There is no John David Card Reddit anymore. And you can see here, David Chang UA. All right? That's the name on this account. And we got Pink Breakfast Slot, Dog Whistles 101, The Wall. Look at this. Look at that right there. It seems that Mr. Card has a fan. Mr. Card has a fan, right? Political Compass Memes has a Nazi problem. Another Card video. Dog Whistles 101, Tiny Hats, another Card video. Wow, this guy must be a super fan of Card. Look at all these posts. He's spamming, it would seem. He's spamming over and over. Wait, what's this? This is me. Oh, would you look at that? It's Card. That's Mr. John David Card himself. Wow, who could have guessed it? Who could have guessed it, right? Laid out right there for us. This is not that complicated, right? Like.
Wait, hang on a sec. What is he trying to... I'm so confused. He doesn't have a Reddit account. Hang on. What was it?
How we got to be where we're at. I don't just dislike the guy. He's a piece of shit, and we're going to get into it. Let's move on. So, that's his YouTube presence. Let's talk about his Reddit presence. Now, his Reddit account, as it turns out, is banned. He does not have a John David Card Reddit account. There is no John David Card Reddit anymore. And you can see here, David Chang UA. All right? That's the name on this account. And we got Pink Breakfast Slot, Dog Whistles 101.
Wait, I'm so confused. But this account is him. Is card posting claiming this account isn't him? When it obviously is, if he's posted his picture on there and he's shilling all his videos.
Won the wall. Look at this. Look at that right there. It seems that Mr. Card has a fan. Mr. Card has a fan, right? Political compass memes has a Nazi problem. Another card video.
Okay.
Dog Whistles 101. Tiny Hats. Another card video. Who could have guessed it, right? Laid out right there for us.
I don't understand. Like, people use all sorts of different names, different. I don't know what this shows us. Okay, so he's got this Reddit account where he doesn't use any other name, he uses a different name for himself. And that's supposed to be a bad thing. Unless he's claiming the account isn't his, which I'm not sure if that's the case. Like, literally, what is the problem with that?
This is not that complicated, right? Like, what are you thinking, man? You didn't just leave a breadcrumb trail. You left the whole loaves out for me. Come on. Like, this is like covert 101, man. What are you doing? That's not where it ends, though. He also has an alt Twitter. How do I know it's him? Vosh feed. Check this out. Bow of the Fifth Columns. Problematic past. Another card video. Would you look at that? Boy, this guy's got identities all over the place. Bone China Chloe. We seem to be running into a pattern here with these, interesting names. This.
So what? This guy... Is this guy card posting as well, for sure? What?
This out. Bow of the Fifth Columns. Problem.
But then what's this video? Movie Mindset. Oh, this is another one of his videos. Yeah, I mean, it could be him, sure. Possibly.
Past. Another card video. Would you look at that? Boy, this guy's got identities all over the place. Bone China Chloe. We seem to be running into a pattern here with these, interesting names. This naming scheme, right? Remember that. Anyway, let's move on. So, as it turns out, John David Card is a published author. Can you believe that? He is a journalist as well as a published author. So this is his profile in independent Australia. John Card. John David Card is a writer, historian, and anarchist activist. In addition to working as a researcher focusing on 19th century folk traditions and religion, Card spends a lot of time writing progressive polemic, kitschy poems, and the occasional self-aggrandizing tall tale.
Dude, are we Kiwi Farms posting again? I mean, what? What? Okay, let's just see.
Go away. When not busy with maybe I'll support you if you get rid of this asshole. When not busy with academic or literary pursuits, they're a proudly militant anti-fascist and incessant advocate for building non-hierarchical communities, tenants unions, and self-sustaining means of mutual aid. You can follow Card on YouTube here, personal website here, and Instagram here. Now, we're interested in the personal website, so let's go there, shall we? Personal website. We got the projects archive, manifesto, People Mover, so you can see all his links here, right? Now, the one that I want to bring to light is this one called People Mover. Now, what is this, you might ask? People Mover, a novella. Let's take a little look. People Mover. This is a book that he wrote. Began around mid-2019. Now, you can see that he's got fantastic...
I just think, I don't, if you want to go full hog on someone, go full hog. Right? That's fine. If you want to talk some shit and dig up some embarrassing shit about them, whatever. It's the way it's being framed that's crazy for me. Like, he's kind of acting like he's exposing someone for doing something wrong. Maybe we'll get to that. But he's not. He's just gathering a beef with someone and wants to shit on them relentlessly. And he's pulled up whatever he can to do that, This is like the equivalent of pulling up the Kiwi Farms thread about someone.
Hammer back here. People Mover began, around mid-2019, as a series of short, unconnected vignettes, set among the truck stops and way stations of the US-Canadian border. I don't know why he said it here. Genuinely, I still don't know why he said it here. Because the guy's from Australia. I don't know what possessed him to do that, but it's a side note. I don't know. It was initially just a personal exercise in writing prose. I had been writing journalistic non-fiction regularly for around 2 years by that point. But for all the interesting ideas for stories I was holding onto, I had never found creative writing to come to me anywhere near as easily. Writing out these little scenes and other little practice pieces did start to leave me feeling a bit more confident about what I was doing. Oh, confident is spelled with an A. Wait.
This is just kind of bizarre. I like what? He's reading it like I'm supposed to be thinking this is super cringe or something. And I mean, yeah, some guy's personal website has got some cringe shit. Like, dude, what am I supposed to be thinking?
wait. Look at this. He's so confident in his writing, isn't he? Jesus, man. Jesus Christ. Spell check. Spell check. Come on. It's a cheat code. You literally have a cheat code and you still can't do that.
Oh, bro. That's rough. That is rough stuff. Going in hard on someone using spelling confident wrong. Come on, Alec, I believe in you. There's got to be more than this, than mocking his fucking misspelling of a word. It just doesn't matter, does it?
This shit. What's wrong with you? Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's get right into the novella, shall we? Because I'm a big John David Card fan, okay? Don't become the cringe. Fuck you. I'll be cringe all I want. I've earned this shit. You know how much shit that I've had to pour through for this? Let's move on.
Oh no. Even his chat is saying he's cringe and he's...
Okay, because I want to get into some anecdotes from the book. I want to get into some anecdotes. I want to give you guys a little taste of what John David Card has to offer. So first things first, I want to point out some grammatical issues, okay? Grammatical issues. First anecdote. Upon barely getting 1 foot back on the truck's accelerator, he did a retake. Interesting. Now, I thought that I was the slack jaw here. I thought that I was the stupid one here, to be honest with you guys. I thought I was the dumb one. But no, it would seem that he needs a little bit of help with his grammar.
Wait, hang on a sec. He's giving the game away. Yes, this is the guy that was on Jubilee with Destiny. Correct. That is who this is. Yes. Listen.
Grammatical issues. First anecdote. Upon barely getting 1 foot back on the truck's accelerator, he did a retake. Interesting. Now, I thought that I was the slack jaw here. I thought that I was the stupid one here, to be honest with you guys. I thought I was the dumb one. But no, it would seem that he needs a little bit of help with his grammar. Right? Confidant.
He's saying, oh, I'm the slack jaw. You know that hurt when people are like bringing it back to that, don't you? You know that upset him because he's bringing it up now and being like, oh, I'm slack jawed. I think you're the slack jawed one because look at this. Yeah, just take a moment to remind everyone. This is called Fake BreadTuber Exposed Card Postings Crimes. Just to remind you all. So we're 15 minutes in and so far, I'm struggling to see the crime. Could just be clickbait, I guess. But the tone of this isn't really matching what I was expecting based on how it was presented. So far, we've got, what? He spells some word wrongs in his amateur writing. He's got a Reddit account. Me too, my voice. And there's a YouTube comment that might be him, but there's no proof of that. Okay.
Down is a words too. Oh, okay, that's fair. But like spell check still checks. Like usually, like it's got a blue underline, right? I guess not always. Whatever. We'll forgive him for that one. He's got other grammar mistakes. Trust me.
I think the thing is, if you got to the point where you're looking at this guy and the best you've got is like spelling issues, I just scrap this. I just scrap this whole segment, and I'd be like, oh fuck, it's not worth it. There's not really much meat on the bone here. I'll just make another video shitting on him or something. Because there just isn't really, you know, the tone of this is a nuke, and it's just nothing there. There's no material there.
Cleanly backed up, swiveled the alignment of the cab around, and pulled back out onto the highway as fast as he could. A maneuvered executed flawlessly given decades of driving experience. A little one there. Little one right there. She could have almost been there by now, admittedly, had it not been for the conniving driver who she had left the truck stop restroom just in time to see driving off. No, actually, that's fine. I don't know why I pulled that one up. Good job, Card. Almost as though he himself is playing along to the same script in Helen's head. Mustache and sunglasses, blah, blah, blah. You guys get the idea. I think this is the last grammar error. So how did a girl of your age get here unsupervised anyway? My parents left me here, I think about an hour ago, as punishment. They do that some days, whenever I become a burden to them. I think it's about time we talk about the subject matter of the book. The book is about a 12-year-old in Montana, a 12-year-old girl, who decides that she's going to run away from home. And in order to do so, she takes a gun with her. It's an abusive household. It's a fine premise for a story. I don't knock the premise, but just bear with me. The premise is that the 12
Okay, wait a second.
year-old talk along to the same script in Helen's head. Mustache and sunglasses, blah, blah, blah. You guys get the idea. I think this is the last grammar error. So how did a girl of your age get here unsupervised anyway? My parents left me here, I think about an hour ago, as punishment. They do that some days, whenever I become a burden to them. I think it's about
he's saying the of your age and trying to, I mean, it's funny that, dude, that clip of him recently, wait a second, you all saw the, okay. Right. Can I? Okay. Can I? I mean, if you didn't see it earlier, let me just throw this up so you can see. So this guy is trying to imply that this guy is writing weird stuff in regards to kids. Okay. I just need to remind you all that the reason I looked at this again is because I saw this clip floating around. So this is Alec in another situation making some comments. Okay.
How old is this guy? He looks underage. He looks like he's like 14. Okay, you take it up the ass like when nobody's looking, and you deny it at every point when nobody even brought it up. You're like, what do you mean in the ass? And they're like, I asked you what you wanted for dinner. Okay, well, just so it's clear, I did not get in the ass. Like that's the look that you're giving off.
How's Mrs. Tip think about that one?
What? Dog, where's your husband? Dog, you're 14. Shut up. Go back to school. Like, he looks like he's 14. Some 16-year-olds look like adults. The problem with pedophilia is not finding somebody who is underage attractive. Okay? If you find somebody who happens to be underage, who's like 16 or 17, attractive, that's not a big deal. It is not a fucking big deal if I go up to somebody, some chick that I think is attractive, okay? And say, hey, you know, you look great. Why don't I take you to dinner sometime? Okay? And then she turns around and says, hey, I'm 17. I'm here with my mom or whatever. And she's in the other store. You know, if this guy who already looks like he would fit makeup very well, makeup and a dress, I'm serious. Like he would look good with makeup and a dress. Not kidding. Maybe you should try it. You know, now I know that you are a virgin. I get that. But now that you know that, maybe next time you can avoid making this dumbass comment that only a 14-year-old would make. All right? Not only do you look like one, you also think like one.
What? But I wanted to end off this video on one good note with one final statement from Tipster himself. When you got a coom, you got a coom.
I coom. What, this guy doesn't coom? Is that your problem? You got big-ass blue balls, man? Go whack one off. I promise you'll feel better. Maybe do it to somebody fucking your ass! Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button.
Like, if he's going to go so hard at card posting, it's kind of crazy that he'd make these comments. I mean, if I was card posting, I don't know if we're going to get to card posting's response today. I do want to watch it at some point. It's too much, too long, and I want to cover that Careful's video that just came out. But yeah, I mean, it seems kind of a bit of a risk to make comments like that when you've gone at card posting for this. You know?
About time we talk about the subject matter of the book. The book is about a 12-year-old in Montana, a 12-year-old girl who decides that she's going to run away from home. And in order to do so, she takes a gun with her. It's an abusive household. It's a fine premise for a story. I don't knock the premise, but just bear with me. The premise is that the 12-year-old who runs away from home with a gun in hand and uses it to hitchhike to Canada, right? Definitely a 12-year-old's dialogue. Yes, it's a 12-year-old. So not like people write adventure stories like this all the time with kids, and it can even be a gritty adventure story. I'm not knocking the guy for that. However, it's important to keep in mind that this guy is supposedly a leftist activist. And that being the case,
dude, this is, oh God, man, the chat is it's tough to watch. It's tough to watch because I'm seeing the pieces at play. You know what I mean? I'm like, as a streamer, I know that sometimes it could be any segment about anything, and chat isn't really moving. People aren't really commenting. People aren't saying stuff. Particularly if you're a smaller streamer, it's rough, man. It can't, like, you know, that sentence is fine. Just tracks a bit weird, I guess. You had the comment earlier that was like, don't be cringe. And there's just nothing here that's really biting. Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Oh my God, yes, thank you, Nocturnal Nick. That's it. It's bombing. Yes. It's like doing a stand-up show and you tell a joke and no one fucking laughs. You know, that sort of thing. The act is bombing. And that's rough. That is rough.
It is important that you have a good appearance online.
Like,
and frankly, I don't think that this book portrays that very well. So let's take a look, shall we? Now, as I said, I read the first 50 pages of this. I got to tell you guys, there's a lot of really weird shit. Let's go over it. From her point of view, the girl, Helen, had already found the companion for the next stage of her journey. Another trucker, tattooed hands, thick blonde handlebar mustache, a slightly too tight and definitely well-worn Marlboro t-shirt, and most egregiously, plastic truck stop sports sunglasses. It all came together in a perfect pastiche of middle American masculinity. It all ticked. It all fit. So these are just some descriptions I'm giving you first, just to set the stage. He stopped short of finishing his sentence. He felt his right cheek contort to the touch of a tube-like object pressed hard against the skin of his face. For a second, his mind failed to comprehend the moment. But that was it. It all fell into place immediately. Point-blank range with disaster, heart pounding for an unprecedented sense of danger was taking over him. It was a gun's cold barrel that was presently pushed into his face by a 12-year-old girl. Let's keep going! He waited for her to continue. Once he realized she wasn't going to talk, he tried to interest her in some food. Period, by the way, another grammar issue. You eating anything? Would you like a cookie? What kind? I don't know. It's got the cream stuff inside. Okay. He knew the risk was high. The police probably wouldn't believe him, given his own dubious history with both the law and CPS. Make it stop? I think not. Let's keep going. You're my only way to get back home, and I'm really starting to get scared nobody's gonna help me. That's because nobody wants to get in any trouble, the trucker let out. The sudden and unusual nature of the situation he now found himself in had reduced him to verbalizing thoughts almost as soon as they appeared in his head, a common side effect of trying to communicate while under pressure from, you know, a 12-year-old girl. Who's very mature, by the way. We're gonna get into that. So these are...
I mean, it's like the disconnect is so absurd with this. Like, is it a bit weird? Maybe, yeah, possibly. But like, this guy's clearly written like an amateur book, and it's like I just don't think there's anything worth. It's like there's nothing worth revealing here. If Chud was bombing, I'd be caps posting saying "shut the fuck up." Of course you would, Stylo. It just like, and this is all over a disagreement about dog whistles as well. There's just no meat on the bone. There's nothing to grasp onto. There's nothing here. It's just, oh, here's a bit of a cringe book he wrote that's got some weird sentences about a story with a kid.
They're all like insinuations, basically, about the CPS. Where's this going? Just wait, just wait. Helen had always tried to be prudent when it came to accepting food from strangers. She'd heard all the PSAs, but wasn't above taking a free snack, especially whenever she didn't know for sure when or what her next meal might be either. In the 10 minutes or so she'd been in his truck's cabin, she studied the man to a considerable extent, and it was hard to find any real fault with him as yet. She had to be careful. An honest facade engulfed in every person in the world, like herself. Everyone has something hidden. Some dark place they wish they could never visit. Besides, her driver was already one-handedly taking the cookies out of their store-bought pre-wrapped sleeve tray. Safe and very welcome, she concluded. Okay, but don't worry, it's not just the truckers. Now, if you were worried, don't worry. There is a love interest that is of her age, and it is very normal. Let's go over it. Ralph, who is also 12. No, not yet. Ralph!
Dude, this dude just literally just going over this whole... Just get to the point where he says the worst thing. Just focus on that, you know. There's no need to go over all of this. Like, what level are we on where we're going over... Like, if you had some... If there was some cringe thing or video or something this card posting guy done that you can point to, maybe point to that. But this, like, you're going over all this book for what?
Had helped Helen with this. Ralph was a boy about her own age she knew from school with a weak heart and a heavy crush. She knew he could be played, exploited to her own benefit. He was blinded by harmless affection and she was very much aware of it. Ralph managed to take her to right up to the inn from the main road turnoff she had found herself at on his two-seater bike. Christ almighty, what is that sentence? He had wondered at the time why he had...
Yeah, there's like no discernment there. There's no discernment of like looking at this and going... Because, you know, you look at something and you go, this is, you know, you've got an idea. And you wouldn't really, you know, you would think, okay, well, this could go off well. This looks kind of like they're retarded. I'm going to show this. I'm going to show that. You know, you've got to have some discernment over what you want to show and what you want to talk about. But this is just like, to the point where you're going over some fucking book this guy wrote, which has got, what, some cringe sentences maybe about a kid that you're writing about?
Why she had such an obviously overstuffed backpack on her, but with fear that Helen would put a sudden end to their ride together, he refrained from ever questioning her about it. He was happy to be around her, especially on such a pleasant afternoon and with no other pesky boys around to spoil the mood. You know, of the 12-year-olds. He felt like a man of strength, protecting his dear woman. He dropped her off and headed back home as Helen had then brusquely told him to do. She felt bad for using him as transportation, but promised him she would meet again and they could have a good talk. His own story was the dog whistle. It was the dog whistle all along. All right, so that puts a pin in Ralph, right? So just Ralph set aside for now. Let's move.
Can anyone point to what we just heard that was supposed to be like damning, and I'm supposed to be like, yeah, this card posting guy's a piece of shit?
Move on to the next part. Now, don't worry. This is their last little bit. Okay, we got a few more. I think 6 more to go over, and then we're done. All right, so this is 4 out of like the 7 or 8 times that the maturity thing comes up. I just hate to mess up your truck is all. The smell isn't something you'd want to have to get used to. Believe me. That's the 12-year-old talking. A surprisingly blunt remark for a girl her age, the driver thought. She's referring to peeing herself, by the way. She was threatening to pee herself. That's like in the first 10 pages. Starting to pee herself.
Okay. We getting... Hey! Come on, Alec! That's it! I believe in you, bro! Get to the weird shit! Let's go!
I'm sorry for not living up to your expectations. I may be mature for my age, but my body still works like any other 12-year-old.
Oh, okay. Why not skip to this part? This is way more fucking... Sounds way worse.
He noticed a line of trucks making their way into the parking area. A clean exit was still on the table if she took her time. Girls always did, or maybe women always did? He couldn't deny the fact that the little girl was dangerous, a barely 5 feet tall loose cannon that he knew he couldn't afford to entertain any longer. About to...
Hey, Alec doubters are in shambles. I always believed he was going to bring it round. 20 minutes into the video, let's go.
Turn stream on. Just wait, we're almost done. We're almost through it. A 12-year-old with a deadly weapon, mature attitude could be harmful to society, but right now he couldn't care less about society. Frankly, he just wanted to survive. All right, we got 2 more. The driver's face contorted unmistakably into what could only be described as a contemplative grimace for a fraction of a second. He could see how this easily seemed to the ear of an outsider. Suddenly, he was faced with a decision that could dictate his future. One verbal mistake with the police, and it could be years behind bars. He felt a slight rage form inside of him. A rage that could perhaps...
Dude, why is that comment about that? That would be a banger. Just that bit in there. Get that in the intro. Lead with that at least.
Irrational decisions for him.
No, it's a fake story. It's a fake story, I think.
He thought about stopping his truck and forcefully throwing the girl out. He chided himself inwardly. Look, this isn't a game I want to play. I have dealt enough with your rubbish. All right, last one. Prepare yourselves for this one. Prepare yourselves for this one. I saved the best for last. She realized he wouldn't stop the conversation until he got satisfactory answers. The type of infuriating characters that she had to deal with on this journey. They all needed satisfaction. Perhaps it was just a universal thing, part of the human condition. Just average 12-year-old shit. What do you mean? It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine and good and normal. Everything's fine and good and normal.
Where's this going? This guy writes like Jordan Peterson talks. I mean, that one is a bit more. Yeah, just this dialogue stinks. Yeah, I mean, look, the word, like, I'm not going to sit here and go like, oh yeah, that's not, like, obviously it's a weird thing to write, but I just this idea that he's like this is called Card Posting's Crimes. His crime is that he wrote some cringe prose, possibly some problematic shit about a kid wetting themselves. You know, I don't think that this is a sexualized book necessarily. It's just a shitty book that he's written. Yeah, exactly.
Okay? Now, here's the thing. All seriousness, here's the thing. Is this sussy? 1,000%. 1,000% it's sussy. Yes. Okay? Is it illegal? No. Is it pornography? No. Yeah, that's a W for him, I guess, if you want to put it that way. It's completely legal and normal and fine, right? Except for the fact, once again, that he's a progressive activist. Okay? What do you think these people talking about groomers and shit are going to see when they see his book that he's peddling everywhere, talking about a 12-year-old threatening to piss herself? The truck is on Burly Man. Like, it's...
Wait, what? This video, we just got 3.6k views, is doing way more to put exposure onto that than anything else. You really think conservatives are looking at Card Posting's book and like fucking oh, look at this, it's got this weird bit in it. Dude, you are like focusing on the fucking granular of the granular. Yeah, no one is paying attention to this book whatsoever, you know?
It's ridiculous. It's insane. Why would you market yourself like this? Like, this is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Not at all. Okay? Not at all. So just on, if that's where we ended, if that's where this ended, I feel I would be justified in making this video on those points alone. Okay? But, of course, that's not where that ended, right? It's never where it ended. Let's move on, shall we? Mr. Card is part of a couple of Discords. He's part of a couple of Discords. This is a Discord message in which he asked for $15, right? Now, there's nothing incriminating about this. Sometimes you need money. This is just an advertiser, promise. Okay? He asked for like $15, thanks, whatever. And then somebody said no, which is very funny because I don't think he deserves any money. All right. If you do a nice...
Wait, okay. What is this? I don't even understand what I'm looking at here. Why is he asking for money? Is this a public Discord? What is this? Okay.
He asked for like $15, thanks, whatever. And then somebody said no, which is very funny because I don't think he deserves any money. All right. If you do a nice picture of me, I'll tell you all about the time I might have inadvertently cyberbullied a gay guy at my university to death. Well, G-Card. Where did that come from, my friend? What? Excuse me. I thought we were all progressive activists here. I didn't think we were doing that. Well then. Just a funny little anecdote. Hey, he's a writer. He's a writer, you know. He's a funny little anecdote. He's a funny little guy. He's just a little guy. He's so silly. It's so silly. Remember this. We'll come back to it later. Anyway, let's move on. Okay, so the first one from this. All right. So we're censored now. So you may be wondering what you're looking at here. So Mr. Card decided to ask people in this Discord server if he could reverse image search them. Okay, now this is a trans female to male Discord server, and he's asking people, hey, can I reverse image search? Can I reverse search for images of you or something like that? He was searching for images of these people for some reason. Okay, he wasn't sure. Let's see. This one says wasn't sure because most of them appear to be from a Polish town's website, and I figured you're from somewhere in Central Europe. So basically, he was trying to pinpoint the locations of some of these people. Okay, now I can't show this on stream, but he also happens to have a very large folder of images of these people. Okay, it's not great. It's not great. He's just like collecting people. Like he has a folder named blanks docs. Like it's really bad. Okay. And actually, now that I think about it, I got to censor that too. So hold on one second. If you're worried about being doxxed, best not be online. I disagree. You should not have to worry about being doxxed. That's a...
Alec, in the original stream, doxed the trans people. He forgot to censor the names of pigs. Oh! Wait, hang on a sec. I remember this because I remember that Harmful Opinions had the full stream. And I remember that Alec seemed a bit perturbed by the fact that Harmful Opinions had the full stream. Was that why?
Silly thing to say. Okay, so basically he was trying to gather information on these people for who knows what purpose,
boy.
right? Who knows what purpose? Perhaps the next tab will tell us, huh? Let's take a look. Is Kiwi Farms gone permanently? Anyone know? You used to be able to get to it just by Googling. I'm the guy who's collecting everyone's doxes, by the way. I'm the guy who's collecting info on all these things. I was just wondering if Kiwi Farms is still up. Is Kiwi Farms still? Does anybody know if Kiwi Farms is still there? I was just wondering. You know, the doxing website, Kiwi Farms, formerly known as CWCK Key Forums.
I mean, I don't know. It's kind of rich that he's complaining about Kiwi Farms when he's employed a lot of the same strategies to find out information about this kind of shit on him publicly. But anyway, I mean, obviously, this is a very obvious targeting thing, isn't it? Is, oh, he's using Kiwi Farms, so it's bad. I don't really... To the progressives, maybe you get a few people on board.
Quickie is a web forum that facilitates the discussion and harassment of online figures and communities. Their targets are often subject to organized group trolling and stalking, as well as doxing and real-life harassment. These actions have tied Kiwi Farms to the suicides of 3 people targeted by members of the forum.
Also, do we know for sure that this is definitely him? Yeah, look, John David Bate and... Is that definitely him? Normally, you'd need to show a Discord ID to demonstrate this is definitely an account associated with this person. So we don't even know for sure if it's him or not.
Their targets are often subject to organized group trolling and stalking, as well as doxing and real-life harassment. These actions have tied Kiwi Farms to the suicides of 3 people targeted by members of the forum. And it goes on. We caught him sitting at the Nazi table, okay? We caught him sitting at the Nazi table. So somebody says, IDK, you're the LOLCOW, you tell me. To which he replies, I'm literally just a normal person who's done a few fun posts. I see, he's just a funny little guy. He's just a normal little guy. Just a normal little guy. Okay?
How do you know
Not
it's
a super
him?
progressive place. I literally got linked to a Kiwi Farms thing as a result of like all of this stuff going on. So I logged in. Not logged in. I don't have an...
We don't know, but Card in his response says he never posted any Discord server. So Card is just flat denying this is him. I mean, without the ID and proving it in some way, it's impossible to know.
Count or nothing. But I opened the page for the first time today, and let me tell you guys something. Not a place I want to be. No thanks. No, I don't even frankly want it on my history that I was ever there. No thanks. Now, I will say this. Trans people go on there often so that they can check whether or not they've been doxxed. Okay, so if you know people who like know about it, don't get, and they're like trans or non-binary or whatever, they might be doing shitty stuff on there. Don't get me wrong. They could, but they're also victims, and they have a right to know what's being posted about them on there. Okay, bro, this is sad. Just stop. Dude, are you car?
Wait, go back. Wait, what?
Are you no? IDK, you're the LOLCOW. You tell me. To which he replies, I'm literally just a normal person who's done a few fun posts. I see, he's just a funny little guy. He's just a normal little guy. Just a normal little guy. Okay? Not a super progressive place. I literally got linked to a Kiwi Farms thing as a result of like all of this stuff going on. So I logged in. Not logged in. I don't have an account or nothing. But I opened the page for the first time today. And let me tell you guys something. Not a place I want to be. No thanks. No, I don't even frankly want it on my history that I was ever there. No thanks. Now,
bro, the way... It's so crazy the way that these people act with Kiwi Farms. What do you think is going to happen? Oh man, if you go to the main page of Kiwi Farms, you might see a little slur or something maybe, but like, dude, it ain't that deep, bro. God, these people are so dishonest in the way that they present it. It's crazy. It ain't that fucking deep. Relax. Relax, have a good time.
I will say this. Trans people go on there often so that they can check whether or not they've been doxxed. Okay, so if you know people who like know about it, don't get, and they're like trans or non-binary or whatever, they might be doing shitty stuff.
Where did you
on there.
get this info?
Wrong, they could, but they're also victims and they have a right to know what's being posted about them on there. Okay, bro, this is sad. Just stop, dude. Are you card? Are you literally card? If you
Oh no.
want to come, a right to know what's being posted about them on there. Okay, bro, this is sad. Just stop, dude. Are you card? Are you literally card? If you want to come on, you can. Offer's still open, man. You want to hop on? Let's have a talk. Let's have a chat. I'll stop right now. I'll stop. No? Okay, f you then.
Well, that's rough, man. You know, obviously there's going to be antagonistic people, but if it's like to the point where you've got to respond to it because the chat's moving so slow.
All right, let's keep going. So, I'm literally he's just a normal little guy. He's just a normal little guy. All right, here we go. Here we go, folks. We've gotten to it. Here's the grand finale. Not the grand finale. It's not over after this. Just, this is about, you know, this is where we start hitting real high speeds here. This is the first official Kiwi Farms post we have from Mr. Charles Nguyen, okay? Mr. Charles Nguyen. Now, why is this important? Who's Charles Nguyen? If that's how you pronounce it. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, sorry. Is it Nguyen or something? So, he posts this on Kiwi Farms. Now, how do I know that this is him? Let's go over how I know that this person is him, okay? Let's look at this one first, actually. I ordered them wrong. I found a YouTube slap fight going on between two different flavors of low-tier breadtube autist. And then it gives us this picture and a direct link. Interesting. Let's type in the direct link, shall we? It's not available anymore. Well, hold the why is it not available anymore? That's interesting. Boy, when I checked earlier today, then I could have sworn this brought me to the video. Let me make sure I type. Oh, wait. No, I didn't type it right. My bad. Wait, is it not available?
Wait, hang on a sec. He's saying he didn't want to be on Kiwi Farms. But how is he getting these posts from Kiwi Farms then? So he's saying, oh, I went to Kiwi Farms and I didn't want to be on there. But now he's showing posts that are obvious Kiwi Farms posts.
Available anymore? Yeah, it redirects to 7 and it's not available anymore. That's okay. We can do this. Hold on. I'm gonna shit myself if
he's at the Nazi table.
Here we go. Perfect. Wait, perfect. Let's see if the URLs match, shall we? Let's see if they match here. youtube.com/watch !v equals HTY-03FQU78. Perfect! Hey, look at that. There he is. There he is.
Wait. Yeah, it's fairly standard that a Kiwi Farms user will post a link to a... What point is trying to be made here? This is probably just a Kiwi Farms poster who is posting about, as he says, the autistic slap fight between two small bread tubers.
Hey, look at that. There you are, buddy. There you are, buddy. Here. The birthday boy himself. There he is. Everyone say hello to Mr. Card. Now, why is this important, you might ask? Well, if you recall, he had some interesting alt accounts, didn't he? Some very interesting alt accounts. Let's revisit them, shall we? From Bone China Chloe. Remember that? And David Cheng Yue. Now we can add Charles Nguyen to the roster. Oh, a new character has entered. The whole gang's here. Everybody's here.
Wait. He's now so he's what is he basing? What evidence is he using to come up with this idea that Kiwi Farms account is him? There's nothing. The literal evidence is like, oh, well, he's posted a link to this video. Well, yeah, anyone could do that. What is he on about?
Here. Isn't that great, everybody? Everybody's here. It's awesome. Archive them all now. Tell me the friend guy's actually a piece of shit. Oh, you haven't been here, have you? Rewind the VOD if you want to know. Okay, so here he is. So I have pretty solid confirmation that this is in fact him. And if you want proof, if you want further evidence, let's read this in his voice. Secretary.
What proof is evidence him? You've not demonstrated. You have not demonstrated. Does he seriously think that this card posting guy is secretly a Kiwi Farms poster and transphobe? Come on, man. That's delusional.
Female to male Discord and Twitter cabal that is behind most of Reddit and 4chan's P-word threads. Now, if you don't know what that word means, it's basically, I don't know if it's a slur or not. I've been told conflicting things. I'm not going to say the word, but it is it basically means female to male. P-word threads. Probably produces most art currently out there. A lot of it about themselves.
Well, no, I don't care. You know, card posting could be the most vicious transphobe Kiwi farmer ever. I don't care personally about it. But the point is, this guy is trying to center this argument around this idea that this is definitely card posting. And then he's pointing to this post, which is then he's claiming card posting has posted this, when, like, there's no evidence of that whatsoever. It's a complete schizo red pin conspiracy theory.
right? If you did browse 4chan's LGBT female to male general thread, for which he's on a lot, by the way, I forgot to mention that. He very frequently is on LGBT, okay? Very important to note. He didn't do, actually, he did do some weird shit on there, but it was under an anonymous name, and therefore I can't prove it. We're going to go over that later. General thread for any amount of time at all. You'll see one group in particular get referenced quite a bit by people in the know. The P-word bin. This is a closed group of power user female to males who coordinate to post threads there and produce immense amounts of art, a lot of which appears to be about its members being assaulted and abused. Presumably, creating this sort of stuff is like a digital self-harm, as other users in this thread have already described it. Most visible of these P-word bin users is blank, who this thread has already covered. So you can see by the way that he's typing, okay? Sounds like David Attenborough immediately accidentally says it. Did I say it? I didn't say the word. If I said the word, I apologize. So anyway.
Why would you keep that in there? Oh my dude, this is so painful. We're nearly done, okay? I wanted to watch the whole thing just to show it all. But yeah, this is pretty rough.
I'm not gonna say it from here on out. But you can tell it's his voice, right? Like it's his cadence. This is his scripts. This is exactly how he writes, on top of all the other evidence we've gathered. So I think that I can say beyond a reasonable doubt that this is in fact him. This is our boy, Card. This is card posting. He is on Kiwi Farms. We have caught him sitting at the Nazi table. You understand? Okay? So we didn't catch him in uniform, but we caught him sitting at the Nazi table.
You haven't at all. You've pieced together disparate pieces of information that don't connect to try and say they do connect to prove there's nothing here.
Keep going. It's obviously his identical quintuplet. So let's keep going. So he has some interesting folders that he's posted on LGBT and all that. Now I can't show you guys the folders, but I do in fact have.
Did he just say beyond a reasonable doubt? Oh my god, bro.
The folders in my DMs, okay? And I can verify that they're there. This is all I can show you for now. These are folders that he himself has posted on using his trip code, I believe. I could be wrong about that. On 4chan, okay? LGBT, thousands of years ago, I would something, have been dealing with suicidal thoughts. Blank docs. That's a name, by the way. Blank's docs, okay? So he just has like a folder with somebody's docs in it, okay? I mean, this is all adding up to me. I think that I've fairly verified that this man is in fact on Kiwi Farms and is probably interested in posting people's doxes there, yes? I think that we've...
Bro, that's... Do we even know this is him? How do we be sure this is him?
Verified that. But if that was not enough for you, okay? It gets worse. I reached out to an organization that he has been known to affiliate with, okay? And I will not say who because of confidential reasons. So I reached out to them. I said, hey, do you know about this card guy? I was wondering about him because I was looking at pictures on his Instagram and I noticed that he's affiliated with you. And somebody reached back out and said, yeah, don't associate with him, please. He literally asked me not to make a video on him. He said, this guy's really bad. He said he's really bad and don't make a video on him. So let's go over why. I messaged him and I got permission to share these DMs, okay? So this is a DM link that I have permission to share. Let's go over them, shall we?
Reaching out. How is this any different to what? Well, I mean, even on Kiwi Farms, you would be told not to reach out to people and stuff. Obviously, some of the more hardline detractors might do that.
Working now? So he's the block right here, and I'm the A, obviously. Yep, okay, so let's cut right to it. Skip down. I feel this info makes the video about Card that much more important to put out. He's attempting to build a platform and infiltrate what's known as the BreadTube space on YouTube. Basically just a bunch of lefty video essayists. He's built up a following of 4,000 subscribers and gets several thousand views on many of his videos. People are taking him seriously, and I want to nip his channel in the bud before he can establish himself any further. So before we continue, I want to come out...
I want to nip his channel in the bud. He wants to destroy... He got so upset about that comment. He wants to destroy his channel. Bro.
Come to an understanding on why I feel I need to put this video
What the fuck,
he says,
dude?
Yeah, when I first messaged, I was...
This dude is just sat in his fucking... This dude is just sat in his fucking garage making videos about... Nip him in the bud.
Continuing to engage with him, but I've done some more searching since. And I replied, yeah, great, we're on the same page. He says, the issue is his utter insanity combined with the Kiwi Farms thing. So there we go. We have a link to the website of the org in question and emailed them via the website. Okay? If anybody at this point is pro Card, they are Card. Ban them. If anybody at this point in the YouTube chat is pro Card, they are Card. Ban them. Okay? I don't want that shit because I've proven now that he's on the website. So I'm going to assume you're Card. Yes, ban anyone that disagrees with me that Card's on 4chan. Or sorry, that Card's on, he's obviously on 4chan, but Card's...
Ban anyone that disagrees with me that Card's on 4chan. This is crazy.
On the Kiwi Farms doxing people. You literally have proven nothing. I've proven that you don't deserve to be in my chat. Goodbye. So I told him what...
You've literally proven nothing. I mean, yes, he's correct.
I got. I gather that he's on 4chan and on Kiwi Farms quite a bit. I have hard evidence that he's on Kiwi Farms along with allegations that he's doxed and harassed and stalked people. The evidence for this is compelling, but not 100%. That's the most incriminating stuff I've gathered. He's also posted things like, want to hear how I harassed a gay guy to death? Just real freak shit. He also got at least one trans female to male Discord server shut down. I forgot to mention that part. He got a Discord server shut down. Now, what happened with that is basically he had asked people to post, like oh yeah, that one thing where he said, I didn't show that picture, did I? I have a screenshot where he asked somebody to draw him. And then they do. And it's not very flattering for good reason. And so we got them shut down, which sucks because, you know, I mean, they were doing some unsavory stuff in there, but it was all consensual. So it just sucks. It just sucks. Where can female to male people go to gather? Where can they go to gather? A Discord server. A Discord server. And he got to shut down. F you, man. F you. Christ. Just disgusting. I identify as trans female to male. Yeah, suck on this, okay? How about you identify as get the fuck off the internet? Nobody likes you. All right, moving on. You have his Kiwi Farms username. I want to see if he's posted about people he knew on here. Charles Nguyen. I can send you screenshots if you want. Then I show the email that I sent to Card because I did attempt to reach out to him for the record. I tried. I said, hey, Card, in case you were wondering, I did watch the video and I do have some thoughts, but that's not the crux of what this comment is about. First off, I want to assure you that I'm coming to you in good faith. I understand you have done real progressive work in your community. He highlights this part. Why? The organizer activist stuff is bullshit, by the way. He was in some orgs for a short time, but didn't actually do any work. It's so good. It's so good.
Who is this person? How do we know who this person is? There's just so much we don't know. How can you be sure that what this person is saying is correct? What verification have you done that they can demonstrate anything about this guy? Like, it's just so... Oh, man, this is rough, man.
Because I'm going to tell you guys, before I reached out to this man, this was today, by the way. This happened this morning. This morning! And before I reached out to him, I was fully ready to give him the benefit of the doubt on that one thing. That one thing. Irredeemable. Absolutely irredeemable. Holy shit. Just insane, man. And again, I want to stress, I do have the receipts. If somebody needs to verify them, I can do that, but this is all supposed to remain anonymous. So I'm not going to go giving this out willy-nilly, okay? Let's keep going. So I send him the Charles Nguyen thing. I say the link to his he linked to the video on me and him. So clearly this stuff's recent.
The link leads to his video on me, so this is recent. These people talk so much about Kiwi Farms and they don't get it, do they? Right? People will see stuff and post about it on there. So of course it's going to be recent because it's happening now.
Unlikely this is someone posing as him because he is known to have alt accounts. We've already been over all this, blah, blah, blah. I'm just explaining to him the things that I've explained to you guys so far. He says, I'm looking through his posts now, fucking obsessed with trans men. And that is true. And that's why he wrote that book the way he did. He still sees trans men as just tomboys. He sees them as tomboys. And that's his fantasy, all right? I've ascertained that that book is his fantasy taken to 99%. Or like 90% maybe. Well, and it gets worse when you look at some experts on his book. He fetishizes tomboys. So yeah, we just go over that. So here's a good bit. So he actually emailed me and said he assaulted people. All trans in real life. So let's keep going. So here's a picture that I sent. Oh yeah, here it is. If you do a nice picture of me. Yeah, that was the one. Never mind. So then we talk about like how, people drew pictures of him raping people. That, it was not savory, but like, I'm sorry, dude. Let's stack these two things against each other. You know what I mean? All right, let's keep going. Now, remember when I said to remember the gay thing, right? Oh, I think I know what he might be talking about with the gay guy. What do you mean by that? Grief over death of young liberal Wilson Gavin after drag queen protest. So he was referencing a real event. Trying to take credit for it. What the fuck, man? He probably concocted a story from this. Some of the trans...
There's a giant blurry line on the screen because he leaked the guy's name. Wait, what? Nikandros? Oh, I see. So when he did the live stream, he didn't censor it properly. Oh my god, dude. He leaked the guy's name in the original live stream. That is crucial context. That's funny to understand. Yeah, I know that Harmful Opinions went over the OG stream. But yeah.
People he was obsessed with had a funny clip on the news of them heckling this guy.
Wait, what? Nikandros sent the live unedited live stream to Tim. Did you? What the fuck? That's funny. Hey, look, see, now I'm going to... Do you know what's funny about this? Is me and Harmful Opinions have spoken about this. Because I saw that Harmful Opinions was going to go over it, and then we just ended up talking about it, and he sent me all the stuff. I was like, "Fuck, this looks great," but it just got superseded by everything else. But now the top tier stuff's come to an end. We're finally getting to this. I edited TOS violating bits out of it for Harmful's React. Damn, the Kandros based.
a few years before suicide. Now, noted, this guy, he wasn't a good guy, and so these trans people were making fun of him, right? He was like a right-winger. He was a conservative, right? And so, like, he's not a good guy. So some trans people that Card happened to be obsessed with was apparently heckling him for that. I don't think it's a good thing to do. Don't do that. Don't heckle people to death. It's not good. Now, did his suicide have to do with their heckling? I don't think so, because apparently it took place several years later. The guy clearly had some internalized issues going on. He was not perfect, okay? But point is, Card took credit for this man killing himself, this gay man. Okay, and he seems proud of it to me. Seems pretty.
So just to clarify, because I'm not going to be. The response is too long. Can you just be honest? Cut to the chase for me. Was Card's response just that he doesn't post in Discord? Is that right? And it's some alt account. The thing is about it is tricky as well, because on the one hand you would think, oh, a 4.5K sub YouTuber card posting is not going to have people that do that, but the reality is that some people do find tiny YouTubers and will just completely mock them. And do you know what I mean? Like, they'll just completely take the piss. I've seen content creators with like a absolutely fraction of the size of even card posting get doxed and shit on Kiwi farms, you know? But yeah.
I'm proud of it, all right? Which is weird, really weird. That just all that tells me is that he would do that. Okay, either that or he's making a very crude
knows
joke.
a lot
Frankly,
about that.
I don't feel like giving him the benefit of the doubt anymore. All right, so you can see this is basically just everything that I've said here. From what I've gathered, the stories Card tends to tell tend to be based on a real story, but pretty much everything he says about himself is a lie. To which I reply very geniusly, well, it's much easier to pull from reality than to fabricate. I mean, just look at his lies compared to his fictional works. I thought that was pretty funny. Anyway, let's keep going. Make it as anon as possible. So yeah, community org.
Dude, he's leaking all over.
And then I got permission from him. Okay, the main things are he's attempted to rip at least a few people. Almost everything he says about himself online is bullshit based on true stories or other people.
What? Oh, what? Wait. What on earth is our... Yo! Guys! Hello? You know what time it is? Uh-oh. Oh shit, I fucked it up.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
Thank you for the sub, Parabol. Appreciate it.
So, like, he'll have a few pics of himself from protests and say he was an organizer. He's a loser and a wimp IRL. When he was told to fuck off out of the city, he was so scared he couldn't physically talk. He got his mom to drive like 3 hours to pick him up and take him home. Jesus.
I'm a bit, you know, all this testimony from this person seems so on the nose. It doesn't, okay. He's attempted to rape at least a few people. That's crazy.
Jesus. Okay, and then this is something that he sent me from a chat, okay? Yeah, but he's not using a trip code anymore, but you can still tell because he keeps posting his shitty videos. If you don't know what a trip code is, on 4chan, that means it's basically just a self-ID. It's an ID, right? So that people know it's you. There's a weird fake trip poster now that's probably still Card. Somebody replied. All right, someone sent me a video he made where he was talking about his projects over the last year or so, and it was just lies, lol. I don't know.
Oh, did Nicholas raid me? People are saying they're here from Nick. Big Nick. Big Nick, the big dick Nick. Welcome, Raiders, anyway, as they come in. We're going to do some careful stuff after this, so stick around. We're nearly at the end of this, so stick around.
I don't know if you've seen it, but claims he was longtime contributor to a student newspaper and shit, Fantasy World. That's really funny. So yeah, that's how he got his job at the Australian Independent, who, by the way, I will not support unless they get rid of this head. So Australian Independent, if you're watching, this guy's on your team. Wait, that thing about him being on the Australian news team is BS? Independent.
Yo, welcome Raiders. We're literally at the tail end of some drama that you may not be interested in, but we're going to do the Kefuls video that just came out in a sec, okay? Welcome Raiders. Nicholas Diorio, fellow rape review leader. Okay, anyway. Welcome Raiders. Come on in. We're having a good time.
Australia. Oh, that's really him. Someone needs to tell them to stop publishing him. So yeah, that doesn't matter. He's the age that he says he is. That's the one thing that he says he's honest about, is his age. Also, he smells like shit 24/7. Just, you know, as an addendum, he smells like shit. If everything else was not bad enough, the dude smells like absolute vile shit. Isn't that fantastic?
Bro, Okay.
Isn't that lovely?
Let's get
everybody?
into this,
Isn't that
really,
lovely?
because
So,
this
what's
is
the conclusion of all this?
we're right at the end of something that you need a lot of context to understand. Okay, this is the guy that was going at Lerix defending Tipster on Twitter, and it's led into this whole thing that I've looked into, which, you know, don't worry about it. Okay.
This all started because I decided to look at a dog whistle video from Mr. John David Card. All I wanted was to have an honest and open conversation with the guy about his methods and the things that he's saying and the way that he presents himself. That's all I wanted. And honestly, I was ready to leave this alone. I was, okay? I was completely ready to leave this alone. And you can see that in my comment on my video. I have a pinned comment on my latest, the second video in the trilogy, okay? Something about him just, after that response video of his, it dug itself into my head and I could not get rid of it. I have a screenshot to Tina where I say, I can't get this guy out of my head. This was before I knew anything, okay? Something bothered me about him. And then the comments started pouring in. They started saying, hey, I know who Card is. I know.
Oh, something bothered me about him, and all of a sudden it turned out he's a terrible person.
This guy, you know?
You got upset that he roasted you. That's fine, it happens. And you came out with a nuke that wasn't really that good. That's all it is.
23 alternative accounts, exactly. And then I started digging, and it didn't take much. This is not that deep, okay? It's not that deep. It's not that hard to piece all this together. So I'm not a genius for doing this. Although I will say that I'm smarter than Card, at least. At least I don't leave breadcrumbs, right? I don't even do this shit in the first place, but at least if I did, I'd be smarter about it than this. So what does this all boil down to, folks? Well, I have a theory, and I think it's a very good one. I think that John David Card is a groomer. I think that he is attempting to start his own cult of supporters,
What?
largely trans supporters. Right? I think that he wants to build up an audience of trans people that he can then manipulate, take advantage of, and perhaps even in a sexual way. And so that's why I feel this is not personal. It is a little personal, but the main point of this is not personal. I do not want shitheads like this infiltrating our good leftist space. No, cast you out into the cold, my friend. None of that here. You're a piece of shit. I hate you, and you shouldn't have called me a slackjaw, dumbass. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more.
Dude, it's so obvious he's so upset by getting roasted like that. Oh. Yeah, Harmful Opinions did a great job. I watched some of his coverage and it was really good. Good old Harmful, good old opinions. And that is just one of my harmful opinions. Imagine I did it as a brain in a jar, okay? But yeah, he got pretty upset over the comments and then found a way to justify it by coming up with all these insane reaches. But anyway.